Hi, everybody. Welcome to ZealZaddy. My name is Scott. My pronouns are he, him, and this is the Magnus Archives Miami. Tonight's episode, Beast Friends Forever. The Magnus Archives RPG was created by Monty Cook Games and based on the podcast of the same name by the Rusty Quill. You should check them both out, and definitely the podcast is worth your time. The game is terrific. The Magnus Archives Miami is a horror campaign that may contain material not suitable for all audiences. We explore topics from deep personal fears to existential threats to humanity. Listener discretion is advised. We have a Kickstarter that we are gathering names for followings, gathering followers for our eventual launch. It is going to be 100 NPCs for Cypher system, deep dive NPCs interconnected through one city. Check it out if you get a chance. I'll drop the link in at some point soon. You can follow us everywhere at ZealZaddy. And let's get everybody in here. And let me make sure everybody's audio's on. Yes, everyone's audio's on. Good. Welcome in, everybody. Why don't we go around, let everybody say who they are, where they can be found, what kind of cool stuff they're doing. We'll go, let's start with, do I ever start with Walter? Well, let's start with Walter. I don't know if I ever start with him or not. We'll just do that.
Okay, hello everyone. Shatargat here. I'm playing as Walter North. I'm a game designer for tabletop RPGs and also scenario writer and also paid game master of every kind of horror. And you can find the details on linktree/Shatargat. Thank you.
All right. Satori.
Hello, everybody. My name is Chenoa Reed, and I play Satori Falk, she, they. You can find me anywhere at Zephyrite, or you can head over to Diceberg Ahead, which is my TTRPG variety podcast, and we're just finishing up our Thirsty Sword Lesbians game, and are starting our 6th season of our D&D 5e campaign, which is very exciting.
All right. Sam.
Hi everyone, my name is Jack. I use they, he pronouns. I'm playing Sam Murphy, who uses he, him pronouns. You can find me everywhere across social media with the name Flaming Hotrod-69. That's Flaming without a G, Hotrod-69. Don't have too many games planned other than this at the moment, but might update that pretty soon.
And we're missing one player tonight. Nova Wayra is not feeling well, so we will be without them. All right. Alder.
Hey everybody, my name is Quinn. I use any and all pronouns, and I am here even though you can't see me. You can find me on the internet at Bluesky and Bluesky only at Quinn Beckham27. And speaking of Thirsty Sword Lesbians, you'll be able to find me next Saturday on Nerds with Dice running a part 2. Every time I run a Thirsty Sword Lesbians 1-shot, it turns into a Thirsty Sword Lesbians 2-shot. So I'll be running part 2 of our Oops All Ace Thirsty Sword Lesbian. We ran it last month raising money for Pride Month, and we're running it this month raising money for Disability Pride Month. So that will be a charity game happening next Saturday.
All right. Last week, Alder was not here. We're going to start with Alder, who decided to go spend... That's not foreshadowing on purpose.
Kyle, be quiet.
Oh no.
So Alder decided to go spend time with his mother and talk a little bit because Mom came to visit and is in town. So why don't we... All right.
Yeah,
Alder,
so...
Your mother is... Are you going straight to your mother's, first thing?
I think that when we had left Alder, you would have seen them kind of walking away from the situation at the abandoned building that we had taken over for the night, with no hair and no expression on their face, just completely and absolutely in a daze and stunned to silence, which is not something very common for Alder. You don't normally see them at a loss for words. I think that they realize and recognize that it is like they're going to be late to meet their mom if they don't go there right away. However, so much just happened that I think that they wander around for a bit, just kind of like walking aimlessly for a little bit, kind of vaguely in the direction they're supposed to be going, but not exactly. Um, and as they're going, I think the thing that eventually kind of snaps them out is both a text from their mom, kind of a like, hey, where are you? As
Okay.
they are definitely late by that point. And when they get that text, they're right by a row of shops that they walk into, and they realize that they're going to meet their mom, and they currently, their clothes are burned and like charred from the fire. They don't have any hair. Um, so as they step into this shop, they not only buy a new outfit, but they also the cheapest and the brightest wig that they can find.
Awesome.
So Alder's going to show up to meet their mom with bright pink hair.
Your mom won't even notice.
I think that Alder did like dye their hair at one point in like high school. But this is obviously very different than that. It is a cheap, like not very nice quality
Right.
wig. It is very bright colored. And they're also wearing a new collared shirt that you can see that has alligators on it. Their signature look is just collared shirts with alligators.
Your mom opens the door when you get there, and she stops for a moment. Are you going to a party tonight?
No, I just felt like doing something different.
Oh,
Do
well,
you not
that's
like
nice.
it?
I think it's super cool. You've always been sort of like on the edge. You've always been edgy as far as I knew.
Yeah. Just felt like a change. A lot has been happening.
And she puts her hand through a little bit of the hair and kind of giggles at it. It's cute. I really like the color.
Thanks. Yeah, it was bright, and different.
Is that did you wear that for me to like lighten this convo? Convo, that's what they say, right? The kids call it a convo.
Yeah, you can call it a convo. I think just in general, things have been a lot, and I think a lot of things could use lightening.
Yeah.
Lately, especially. Yeah.
So I'm gonna just assume that. Can you hear all my dog barking? Okay. Do you... Hey, oh, come in. I'm sorry. Here, sit down. Sit down. I ordered some Cokes and some ginger ale and a couple of beers. Do you want any of those?
Um. Yeah. Sure. I'll have a beer, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. And she goes and opens the beers, the bottles, and brings them over. They're Corona. Is that okay?
That's fine. Yeah.
And she puts a little lime wedge into it. All right. So, I know you have a lot of questions. Why don't you just ask whatever you want to ask, and maybe it'll lead to more. Who knows?
Um. Do you Did you ever have like the feeling when you were a kid in school and the teacher asked like any questions and you realize that you don't even know what you don't know?
Oh, yeah, all the
Remember
time.
that?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm always confused.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I feel like right now. I know that there's a lot of things that I don't know, but I don't feel like I even know where to start, if that makes sense.
I'll start then.
Um,
I've always sort of, and I think you're like this, I've always sort of felt things, and sometimes that
yeah.
led to seeing things, sort of. Like, out of the corner of my eye, I would see something and look one way, and there wouldn't be anything there, but I know I saw something. That happened to me all the time as a kid. It was almost like the Fae in the wilds, the fairies were behind you, always sneaking around doing things. But I'm not sure it was always as simple as that. And then when I finally met James, it was just I felt it was the thing from the corner of my eyes, then suddenly it was in front of me. And I knew that it meant something and that he would be important in my life almost from the moment I met him, because I felt he was sent from the places we can't quite see but almost see. So I guess and he can be charming, of course. So I felt something. I don't want to call it love at the moment, but it was attraction.
So the feeling things and the sensing things, is that like a family thing? Like, do you know if anyone else in our family can do that? Is it genetic?
Oh, I've never asked anybody that. They already put me in an institution for a while. I was I was so afraid to ask those questions. But sometimes I do. I I feel things are there. Even when I came here and I came into your office, even in there I felt like there were things just out of my sight that I feel when you have that, if you sort of allow yourself to be present in it, sometimes it reveals itself to you. And even though it didn't, I felt that was. But of course, you're dealing with ghost stories all the time, so it could have been my imagination, or it could have been, maybe you're all or drawing them to you as much as you're going out to find them. Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
I do have a question before you go any further.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
I can always, as my son, I always know when you're putting on an act. And I had asked if you felt your job was safe. I don't know if you... I'll ask it again. I'll just ask it again. Is your job safe? Is it dangerous?
I mean, my job, like my official job, is to be a researcher and like an archivist. I'm not that it is supposed to be safe. Um, what we have um lately it has been less than it's been different lately. It's been more intense lately. Um so like my job, like on paper, my job is, yeah, it's supposed to be safe. Um like you said, the building that we work in, even everything about that place is probably inherently a little bit unsafe. It's kind of a weird place to be. Not a weird place to work.
One thing that I'm going to take your word for it that you believe you're safe. Do you believe you're safe? Do you need blink twice if you need to get out and you're afraid to do anything?
I think that I'm safe right now, if that
Okay.
makes sense. Do I think that it's always safe? If I'm being honest, no. I don't think that it's always safe. But
The people you work for, are they friends? Do they protect each other? Do you all protect each other?
the people I work for, questionable. The people I work with, absolutely. The people I work for, I don't know anymore.
I mean, it's just a company.
that.
I mean, how bad can it be? You just quit and go work for somewhere else then. Although, I mean, I guess the ghost stories are probably pretty compelling. I mean, but if you have friends that are there, who have your back, then you should be safe there then.
Yeah. I don't want to leave my friends, basically. We are in this together, this whole job. We work very close. We have a very close team.
So, when I first met James, I didn't know he was a ghost or whatever. I just knew he was interesting, and it didn't take me long to realize that he was something else. And I knew he revealed himself to me. Over time, he's like a really good storyteller. He would tell me about things I guess he read in books or stuff from like the 1700s and the 1800s. I think he loves his history and whatnot. And I know you are into the spiritual realm. You should ask him sometime maybe about, like, he knows so much about like weird groups like the Rosicrucians and the Illuminated Seers of Bavaria. He was like Swiss historically, I think, his father was from Switzerland or something. And apparently his father not his father, one of his kin, like grandfather, great-grandfather, whatever, was like a renegade member of the Illuminati, which is kind of cool, right? Like, we've all heard of the Illuminati. The dollar bill has the seeing eye, so we know that we're in the Illuminati world already. So that's pretty cool. But he can sit and talk with you for hours. If you are, like, maybe it'd be worth you having some time with him. Although, one thing that I've never been able to figure out, as you grow up, I could see you looked a little more like him than your father. And how does a ghost pass on genetic material? Like, I can't figure that out. Can you figure that out?
No,
See,
I got
so
no
it's not
idea.
possible.
Yeah.
It's just not. It can't be that. It can't be possible. There's no way.
Yeah. I mean,
Dogs have a squeak toy.
I mean, James is definitely interesting, and that whole story, but honestly, I think, like, the things that we can do that we don't talk about, the ability to sense things and feel things and maybe even see things, I think it sounds like I get that from you, and we just haven't talked about
she
it
starts
my
drinking
entire
her beer.
life. And you obviously,
Yeah.
I can see why you didn't talk about it with your family, but I don't know. I almost think that that's cooler than whatever James has, whatever his stories are or his history. I want to know more about our history, about our family, about
Oh.
whatever the things were that were left if this is like some big family secret that's been left unsaid, and for generations we've been able to do this, just no one has voiced it. Because obviously it's not a thing that you talk about, but we're talking about it now.
Here, taste. Does this beer taste bad to you? It tastes weird to me. She
Yeah,
gives you her beer.
I'll taste it, yeah.
It tastes very kind of gross and ashy and stuff. It's like I don't know what's wrong with it. Every time I have a beer around here or any kind of drink, which just about it just tastes. Is there something in the water in Florida or something that makes it all bad?
The coffee in our building sucks, but I don't know if like all of the drinks I've had are bad. And out of character, can I tell how, first of all, is this taste familiar? And second, when I try to
Yeah, it's
get
familiar.
a taste, if I try to get like a taste for just the air, like without taking a sip, do I still taste anything?
Yeah, like an ashiness and a kind of a dirtiness.
Okay. Okay. Great. Yeah. Do you ever, unrelated to the drink, do you ever feel like you just get a weird taste in your mouth for like no reason at all?
Oh yeah, all the time. Well, okay, I'll tell you. When I see things in the corners of my eyes and stuff, I often get a weird taste in my mouth. Sometimes it tastes like dirt or like grass. I've had like dirty marshmallow taste, like a burn, but also like, I don't know. I get some terrible taste in my mouth. Every now and then I'll get a taste that I'm pleasantly surprised by. And, I don't know what all of it is or what it means. I just kind of assumed there was, like, I went to doctors and they couldn't figure it out. They just said there's nothing wrong. And then COVID hit, and now they just think I have long COVID affecting my taste. But it was before COVID, so it wasn't that. Do you get that too?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I do, yeah. Yeah. That's why I don't know what this is, and I've been trying to find answers, but I think that it's I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's just a thing our family can do. And maybe has been able to do for a long time.
I mean, I've been able to. I would sometimes not be able to eat. I would get so nauseous from the taste of stuff. Even as a kid. Well, a teenager. I don't remember it as a kid like that. Maybe. Oh my gosh, is it a puberty thing? Do you think it's hormone related?
Do I remember it from when I was a kid or just teenager? No. Okay. I don't know. I know it, like, definitely I don't remember it when I was a kid, just when I was a teenager. It's been more intense, I think, over the last, like, couple of months, but that's because I've been leaning into it, I guess you could say. I've been kind of intentionally experiencing it, whatever it is.
I think I know what I'm going to do. Maybe this will help. And maybe you should do it. Why don't we make lists of things we remember that seemed out of sorts with, like, normalcy, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of them. Maybe I can just write them out and you can write them out, and maybe, I don't know, maybe we have a sensitivity.
Yeah.
Like an allergy to weird things that are outside of our.
Yeah.
But you see these things, don't you? Like, I kind of miss them. Like, I know they're there, but I don't see them. But you see things.
Sometimes. I kind of have to be looking for it, I think. Like, I don't just see things all the time. I have
Nice.
to look. but when I look, I normally find something. But yeah, that actually reminded me a long time ago, when I was very, very first, like the first time I heard, so you remember when I like told you I heard the voice in the backyard and it like freaked everybody
Yeah.
out, and then I was like, it was a ghost. Which I think it was James actually. Like it was his voice now that have heard his voice again. Um, which is weird that he was just in the backyard watching me as a kid. Um, well, teen. But I was so desperate to find answers. I was like looking things up online and trying to like, talk about my experiences. And I got in touch with this old lady, and she told me that I wish I could remember the wording that she used, but I was, 16 at the time. But she said something about that I'm like sensitive to things beyond the veil, whatever that means.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Yeah, that sounds right.
I wonder if she's still alive, and if I still have her number. But yeah, I think writing down all the things that have happened to us and comparing, contrasting, seeing what's different and what's the same. And then I think I'm gonna try and like look into our family history and
Okay.
see. I know.
Do you
I know
need
said
like
you
a
didn't-
23andMe thing or something? Would that help? I could do one of those.
How much do you know, like just off the top of your head, about our family?
I mean, we have the family Bible has like, I think it goes back a generation or two.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably a good place to start. I mean, I am a researcher. So I think I should be able to find some information just off of my own skills.
All right. And you talk about these things through the night with your mom. And she gets a pad of the paper from the hotel, and as you talk through these stories, she's writing them down and she's making columns, and it's actually kind of interesting to see that she organizes very naturally in similar ways to how you organize. She's very meticulous. She writes small. She is very concise with the wording. Just you in an older package.
Yeah. Yeah, I think through the night and through like spending this time, Alder is starting to get the sense that they are, I think partly because they want it to be true, and partly because they're seeing this, that they have more in common with their mom than they do with James, who doesn't feel like family to them. So they are trying to like take that in, trying to forget about everything that just happened to them, and just, my mom flew across the country to be here, very last minute, so I'm just gonna spend as much time with her as I can.
And you wake up in the morning and your mom's like nudging you, your phone's is buzzing or something. Are you late for work or something?
I look at the time. Am I late for work?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, but they're pretty forgiving. It's one of the nice things about the job. It's fine if I go in a little late, but I probably should get ready and leave.
Yeah. You have a nice hotel blanket over you, and you fell asleep on the couch.
Yeah.
Couple of beers off to the side, mostly not drink. All right. Well, I'm gonna fly home today. But I'm gonna look at our list, and I'm gonna add to it. I'll send you a copy, and we'll share it back and forth. And let's.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! It's a project.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it'll be fun. I know that this has to be bringing up bad memories for you, and I understand why you didn't talk about this with anyone before, but I'm glad that we're able to talk about it now.
Yeah, don't tell your dad. He doesn't
No.
understand. I can just tell you,
I
he
don't
won't.
think a lot of people do. I think especially, there are a lot of cultures where people who saw things or heard things were, revered and thought to be, again, like seeing things from the other side. It's just a thing that now gets, treated differently and often treated poorly uh, by people. So I think a lot of people don't understand.
And you pack up. She gets you off to work, and you
Yeah.
arrive to work, and everyone is there already.
Yep.
You walk into the office, and the office is kind of buzzing. I'll let them explain if
Um,
anything's going on.
when I walk in, do I take the elevator?
If you
And if I
want.
take the elevator, yeah. Uh, Alder had been avoiding Dawn. Um, and I don't think that this they're wearing they slept in the same outfit. I think when they woke up, the wig was like a little bit not correct on their head, because it's a cheap little wig, and they had to like fix it and get it to like, part of the goal of the wig was so that their mom didn't realize that they don't have hair. Um, but yeah, I think I will. I think they still take the stairs. I think I'm still avoiding Dawn. I think yeah. I think I still don't wanna see him. So I will.
Okay,
It's only a couple flights. I'll take the stairs.
you can handle it.
Yeah. But yeah, you all see Alder walk in. And interestingly enough, I think it's one of those. There's like multiple details about Alder that you take in all at once, because the thing that I didn't mention when I was describing my little like blue outfit with my alligators is that this is actually the outfit that I am wearing right now, which is in my brain what Alder is wearing, is also a dress. Um, and Alder's like non-binary trans mask, so normally is in. I don't think you've ever seen Alder wear a dress before. Like they normally conform to more like masculine gender presentation. And then yeah, like the short pink hair is also very, very vibrant and very eye-catching. And I imagine just everything about. I actually love how everybody else dressed for this, because I think this is the contrast of like walking into a professional office in a dress covered in alligators with bubblegum pink hair, and everyone else is in like black. And it's just a very like Alder is a noticeable person when they walk into the room for work today.
And
What
And we see.
did you do to your hair?
Sorry! Hi! You're back!
Is that
Yeah.
a wig?
Yes,
Why are you wearing
it
a wig?
is.
Oh right, we didn't tell you about
What?
that.
What? What am I
I-
missing?
So remember the books that Walter got that kind of caused the whole
Yeah.
thing?
Y'all got burned and
Alder, actually,
injured?
it might be better if you explain this.
Um, yeah, I read a book, and I think they
Okay.
lift the wig. You can see the wig cap that I have a wig cap on underneath it, but Alder doesn't have any hair. I read a book
What?
and my hair fell out.
Oh, you read a
Yeah.
book in your hair. What kind of books are you all reading? We're supposed to be
First
reading.
books, I guess.
by the way,
They
Alder,
were interesting.
it was
were
not
interesting
just the
books.
hair on your
Yeah.
head. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
God damn! I leave for a day, for 2 days. You lose all of your hair. Everybody gets burned, and Walter explodes his apartment. God.
yeah, you shouldn't
Okay.
leave.
I'm
Yeah,
never
yeah,
gonna
don't
leave again.
leave. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we get so much stuff done while I'm here, apparently. Which, sorry that you missed yesterday. It's okay. I hope you had a good time with your mom.
It was productive, I think.
Yeah, good. We do have some good news. Eileen is back in her room.
How'd you do that?
We pulled her out and pushed her in.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
team
We
effort.
pulled her out of Walter and pushed her in. We
And Jamie
rebound
was there.
her to the building. Oh yeah, Jamie was there. It was kind of cool, but also really weird.
Yeah,
She was there as like a field tech, just kind of like shadowing. I don't know how I feel about it, but she seemed to have a great time.
we could put her on a potential list. I just still don't trust her, but it wasn't that bad.
I don't either, but yeah. No, Eileen is no longer in Walter or roaming the building for what I know.
Okay. Um, Walter, how are you?
I don't know.
Probably really tired. He was blind for most of it, and that's my
Yeah.
fault.
Yeah, I mean, I know, when I left, things were heated. Um,
Literally? Is that a joke?
it was supposed to be a joke, yeah, but it was a really bad one. It's fine. But I don't know. I'm sorry that we read those books, obviously. Um, and I know that we shouldn't have. Um,
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. It's just your hair is awful, and I'm.
yeah, it was cheap. Um,
I mean, at
and
least it was cheap.
yeah, I couldn't go talk to my mom like without hair.
You chose pink.
Yeah, and somehow the pink hair was less suspicious.
I mean, I know at least one place that you'd blend into.
Yeah, I
The
think I was
Pink
hoping it
Pony
would
Club.
like yeah. I think I was hoping it would like throw her like it would be so distracting that she wouldn't ask any questions. You know?
Did that work?
No, she did ask questions. Um,
As any good
yeah.
mother would.
yeah. Um, but it's fine. I think I came up with a viable excuse, reason. I don't know. It feels weird to lie to her, and I think she can tell when I am. So, but she didn't tell me the truth about my dad for my entire life. I guess she didn't know necessarily for sure. Um, did they tell you? Did you get filled in on that, Satori?
Your dad's a ghost.
Kind of.
Oh.
Yeah.
Actually, something called a homunculus, but whatever the hell that is.
That's
I see
worse.
Walter smiling. Walter has heard that word, I think.
Yeah. No, that's worse.
Yeah, I have some things to research, I think. But so okay, so Walter, you're okay-ish? That's such a dumb question to ask you. I don't know if you've been okay for a long time. Um, but
Well, we do have bad news too. Tonight is a full moon.
Yeah.
uh, yeah, Alder, like, you know, the list is still like right up on their desk, and the very like top, it was in yellow, but then it got like scratched out and written in green at the top was Satori werewolf problem parentheses Kyle, and it said 3 days on it. Last time Alder updated it, I think they just kind of like go over, grab the colored pencils from the desk, and it's gonna like write like now.
And Nova says, but we have some semblance of a plan, and she puts down a bunch of injectables and large needles and a dart
Ooh.
gun.
Those are big.
He's gotta be sedated.
Okay.
I do not envy him.
I don't either. After seeing him eat Teddy and then throw it
Oh,
up.
right, yeah, that still shows up in my dreams sometimes.
Yeah. You can't really unsee something like that.
Oh,
But
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't go with you. Yeah.
yeah.
hopefully we can drug him.
Do we have a backup plan if that doesn't work?
I
Eh,
kind of told him I would shoot him.
Uh,
When do we
is there
drug
like
him
a
to?
mid? Is there a mid plan in between that?
And when do we drug him? Do we drug him while he's in his human form?
I mean, we need to do it a little bit while he's in his human form, I
I
think.
would think. Yeah.
And then when it gets closer, we need to like up that dosage.
Fill him full of doses.
Yeah, direct IV line, kind of thing. Unless there's a way that we can. I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about sigils and trapping entities, and it doesn't really feel like it's possible to remove the hunt from Kyle. But I don't know if it would be a good chance, since it is a full moon, to try and trap the beast inside him and get it out. Trap it elsewhere.
I mean, how did you get Eileen out of Walter? Like, that sounds like that might be like
Yeah.
something of a process we could replicate.
Yeah, I've
So-
been studying a lot about sigils, right? And so we had a whole setup in the elevator, and basically we ground her. We summoned her and trapped her back in the building, because the building is her space, her domain,
Yeah.
right? And then Sam, with his staff at the final moment, pushed her out.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that would work at all with Kyle, but if we have something that's silver, maybe like a
Wait a second.
like
wait
a
a second.
Dybbuk, like a Dybbuk box.
You said something like the hunt. What do you
Yeah.
mean?
The fear, the one of these things that, you know.
The fear of being hunted. Nova jumps in. It's very primal, of course.
Yeah, that's what Teddy
Yeah.
was.
In that red club.
You mean like this desolate thing?
Yes, exactly. It's the same
So-
sort of concept.
So you say that it's actually not a curse.
I guess in a way it is, but it's not exactly. Because the way that Kyle got it, he got it from somebody else, like a disease.
Yeah.
Sounds
But he wasn't born like that. So I feel like there's some way to get rid of it.
I mean, the curse
Yeah.
and the myths are kind of pretty much the same. So I always thought that it could be some sort of curse, but if you say that it's some sort of aspect of the concept of fear, we can find a way to entrap it.
Yeah. We
But
just have
what
to
about
find...
your godlike friend Hermes?
Hermes?
Yeah. It's complicated, sort of.
He
Oh
told
yeah,
me...
we can tell Walter about that now because Eileen's
Oh,
not here.
right. Wait, but what about
Yeah.
Lilith?
Walter just asked about him.
Yeah, well...
Wait, so
I
I
told
was assuming that
him-
you told
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Okay.
No,
Oh,
so I made a
Okay.
tea, that's why I was gone, right? I made this, like, really good
Yes,
tea.
yeah.
It made Walter blind. But it also made the other things in him silenced. That we know of that couldn't hear anything. So Walter
Yeah.
knows everything now.
Okay.
Or at
Good.
least, hopefully,
Um,
everything that I could have remembered. But,
remember.
yeah.
It's a lot of
Hermes,
things, so I wouldn't be surprised if
yeah.
he forgot one or two. But yeah, Hermes is a big one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hermes was the one that told me that it's possible to trap these things, but
Hmm.
he hadn't ever heard of somebody like Kyle ever being cured. They usually go crazy first and turn into people like Teddy.
I think that it doesn't matter because it's the it's the same concept with different effects. So if
Yeah,
there's a way to prevent one, that means there should be another way to prevent others.
I
But
agree.
where is the guidebook of sigils that could entrap them or I don't know banish them?
I have my notebook that I was using to study all of this, so we would just have to review it and like come up with something that would work for Kyle.
Maybe we can work on different kind of aspects, and there maybe we can find a pattern to
Yeah.
apply it to this situation.
You want to do a team up, Walter?
I don't know. After all this, and by the way, I don't know when this weird effect will take off.
Yeah, what time does Kyle start to turn?
Peak. It builds up throughout the night as soon as it gets dark. But as
Okay.
soon as it's peak, that's
Actually,
what
I
he
meant
said.
the Lilith situation here.
Oh, right. That's also technically on a timer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Uh,
like I don't want to turn into Lilith in the middle of a ritual that could possibly save your friend.
Yeah.
good point.
Do I have more tea? I don't want to make you blind again, actually. That
Like the
probably won't
choice is
be-
between being blind and being taken over by Lilith.
That was not a problem, but being naked in the pool was a little bit
Oh yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, that did make it weirder.
Walter did unfortunately incinerate all of his clothes for a portion of time before we pushed him into the pool. This was in between tea time and buffer time, so he was blind for the majority of it. So hopefully that saved from some of the embarrassment, Walter.
I don't know.
Lilith wasn't embarrassed.
No, I'm sure she wasn't.
No shame.
She loves the Pink Pony Club. There's not much that can embarrass her.
Yeah.
Yep, she has no shame.
Anything else that I missed?
We already mentioned Jamie.
Uh,
We have the button now.
Yeah, we got that back.
That was
Wait,
part of the deal.
that's good.
For killing
Yeah,
Teddy.
that's good. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there's buttons. I like point over to the board where it says buttons with
Right.
a S that's
Yes.
underlined multiple times.
Yeah.
But
on
we
the
have
clipboard.
one of them,
we have
which is better than
one.
having
Yeah.
none.
Yeah, Jamie just came back
I'll
with
take
it. I
it.
don't know if it was her personal button or if she got it from somebody else, but we have one of them.
Okay. I mean, you're like you said. I'll take it. One is better than none. I would feel better if we knew where the rest of them were.
Yeah.
Cause
I think one of them's still with the
Selena.
Nova's sister.
or did Nova's sister give it to Jamie because they know each other?
I don't know.
don't think they were on
maybe
friendly
also wanna kill
terms, were
each
they?
other.
Yeah, I don't think they were friends.
I think a lot of people want Jamie dead or wanted Jamie dead because Teddy
She
did,
can
but Teddy's dead now.
Open.
But Teddy wanted a
anything,
lot of people
so-
dead too.
True. But wait, why did Jamie wind up? Because Jamie and Eileen were friends. Why did Jamie wind up helping you?
We
the
killed
drama.
Teddy. That too, but we killed Teddy, so she owed us one.
Yeah. And so she gave us the button, and we kind of convinced her to help us with
Yeah.
with no additional deals.
Good.
So-
I'm running out of room on this piece of paper, so we can't really have anything new.
Just get a new
yeah.
paper.
But yeah, we do need to take care of Lilith still, but Kyle is very fast approaching, and I think
Yes.
we need to work on possibly getting sigils drawn, because I doubt that this would work on any other night. I think it would have to be out and present for something like this to work.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. That's all, things are written in priority order for a reason, and that's like the top of the list, so.
I feel like I need to
Yeah.
go to a pawn shop and see if I can find a silver box or a silver lined box. I might go on a field trip. But that's my priority right now. And then Lilith will get her ass kicked.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lilith.
Walter has dealt with talismans and stuff in the past. He has some knowledge of either making or infusing them. Just from things he's dealt with in the past with cults and stuff.
Yeah, more likely jack of all occults, but master of none.
Yeah. Well, what you know is sort of, is generic the right word? Maybe it's not quite the right word. Oh, hold on. Is hold on. Let's see. Is not specific to any type of being or creature, but there's definitely information that you know just from your studies in the past.
So do you think it would be possible if I did get a box like this to act as a Dybbuk box for Kyle's affliction, and we can engrave certain sigils that would trap it? Something like that could possibly work.
And even though there's a certain word used in what I dropped in there, Walter, it could be used on whatever. Potentially.
But actually, Walter's action will be something like, all right, I can't stand more. I will go get some ice cream.
Oh,
Anyone
Okay.
else wants that?
I mean, if there's a pawn shop on the way,
I'm not gonna question anything anymore. Sure, why not?
All right. Because this, I have to say that this week reminds me of a strawberry ice cream, and I really want to have one right now.
Okay.
is that in character
looks-
or is that
it-
you?
Maybe both. I don't know.
Yeah, Alder's hair right now is definitely giving strawberry ice cream.
Hot take, gelato is better than ice cream. But go on.
Ooh, this is pretty good, yeah.
So while Walter is doing that, he will also think about what to do about talismans and sigils and stuff. So he's just trying to recall his information.
Okay. And is anybody going with you to get ice cream, or are you going alone, or?
I'll go, yeah. With
Yeah, I
the intentions
think-
of also going to find
You know what? Let's all go, I guess.
Field trip.
Wait,
Yeah.
should someone stay with Kyle now, or is it too early?
He's taking a nap.
Okay, then I'll go along.
Last I saw, he was taking a nap.
No, Alder definitely does not want to be alone with their thoughts right now, so field trip, let's
That's
go.
fair.
You get to the ice cream place. It's not far away. A couple of blocks. And you order your
Feel like-
ice creams.
I feel like
Yeah.
she'd like cookie dough. Satori feels like a cookie dough kind of girl.
And what is Alder?
I mean, out of character, strawberry is actually my favorite flavor of ice cream, and I think since Walter like put the idea in Alder's head, and then the wig does just match it. I do think I'll stay on vibe. So yeah, strawberry.
Sam, what kind of ice cream person are you?
Sam's probably gonna go vanilla because that's like easier to process. Anything that's too sweet or flavorful gets too much for him, so vanilla's just fine.
Nova gets dulce de leche.
Nice.
Walter?
Probably some chocolates, banana, lemon, and strawberry on top.
A whole sundae.
It's a whole thing.
Nice.
Can I make like an insight on Walter?
Can all of us do it if we want, actually?
Just to, double check and make sure it is Walter. Because this is,
Sure.
I feel like a little bit on brand, but I am aware
Yeah.
that Lilith
Yeah.
also really likes indulging.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
No.
let's see here. Well, I have perception.
I think I do too.
I meant to grab my new dice that I bought while I was
Yeah, I
gone
have
last
perception.
weekend.
Oh,
But I didn't grab them. They're on the floor. And I should have grabbed them because I rolled terribly.
alright, I'm gonna
And the other
roll.
dice would have rolled better. So I rolled a 3. I know nothing.
No.
That's a 2. I don't.
Yeah,
I know
both of you,
guys.
your heads are in totally different places.
I rolled a
Fair.
13, and I'm trained in perception, so I think that's a 17.
Yep.
Okay.
Walter, do you think that you would want them to know what do you think Satori would know about this indulgence?
I mean, yeah, we can say that it's not like an idea that Walter would have and actually do, but I don't know. I mean,
So it seems a little different than Walter, although Walter was a little different over the last day or two
Yeah.
anyway, so it's definitely hard to know exactly what you're dealing with.
But something feels a little
Go on.
off. Right? Something does feel a little off.
I don't know. Maybe you can ask questions other than "Are you Lilith?" Or, "Are you Lilith?" And maybe I can give some answers to give a better insight.
I think that's Walter.
Who knows?
I do think while we're at the ice cream shop, if there's
Yeah.
a chance, like, Alder would probably try to talk to Walter again. Just because last time Alder saw you, you lit the room on fire. And there was also a lot of screaming. So I think kind of, like, as we're, like, ordering and kind of, like, after we're like, waiting for our ice cream, if there's a moment for Alder to kind of just be, like, next to Walter in the
Yeah.
line.
Think
Or just,
Yeah. I think I would also be looking for like physical changes, like is Walter's ice cream melting faster than ours? Or a little bit warmer? Or as we're like talking, is there
That's a good
Sir.
insight. The
Oh,
ice cream is
like-
not melting faster.
okay,
Okay.
good.
that's good.
Yeah.
But probably
but yeah.
during the way, Walter was mumbling the same melody a couple more times. Probably it becomes some sort of habit.
Right.
How long has that song been stuck in your head, Walter?
Not sure, but I think since I started to feel Lilith's presence in me.
So she has a song stuck in her head, maybe.
Hmm.
That also would be interesting. I don't know, I've never heard it before. Also, this was a good idea, ice cream. I don't
We
get
could use a
ice cream
break,
hardly
yeah.
enough, yeah.
Ice cream socials are always good.
Yeah. And then after, I'm gonna want to go to a pawn shop. See if
I'll
they
come
have
with all
got
that.
nice old boxes.
Okay, there are pawn shops in different places. There's one or two that are probably within a few blocks of where you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you looking for? Like
over
an
there.
antique box or something?
Yeah, I'm looking for an antique box that probably has silver lining or like silver trim. Something definitely like really old and would work well as like a Dybbuk box supplement. Easily carvable.
It's funny. I'm using my Neapolitan ice cream dice.
Yeah.
That was funny. You find an old box that it seems to be from the early 1900s, that it has what seems to be silver wire, like like bent into like a frame for the box to make it fancy-ish.
That probably would work, I would assume. At least on a 4-dimensional level, it creates a barrier of its own, I think.
Hold on, let me close my door. Okay, go on. Sorry.
But yeah, no, something like that definitely would probably work. Some sort of silver lined. Or if they have any other like small silver containers as well. Like an urn or a bottle.
Make me a roll. A
Yep.
D20.
Ooh, 4.
Okay. You find a little music box that looks like it's old, like an antique maybe, that is silver and has some like inlay in it, like mother of pearl or maybe coral, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And, make it pretty, but it looks like it's a solid silver underneath all the inlay.
That would also work really well. Yeah, let's go for the drama and get a music box. Yeah. I'll definitely do that.
Okay. So you're getting both?
Yeah, might as well.
All right.
Just in case.
It is the $73 with tax and everything.
That's not bad. Not too bad. I was gonna go up to the counter and be like, thank God it's not like $2,000.
You get them, get out. And you're. What are you doing now?
Was there anything else like interesting or weird while I was in the pawn shop?
Every pawn shop has some interesting and weird stuff. At least
Okay.
every pawn shop I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's pretty true. I guess I'll head back and then work with Walter to get some sigils carved.
All right, Walter.
How do you want to do this?
Well, hopefully we can get Kyle sedated enough And then when the transformation starts, we could be on a spot similar to how we had you, where we've lined up these sigils, read some incantations, and then trap whatever piece of him into one of these silver-lined boxes.
Okay. But we still need to create some sort of talisman. And I don't know if we can charge the energy enough for it, but we can definitely try.
Okay. We will do our best.
Okay. So what is the goal with the boxes? What are you planning on doing with them?
Trapping the hunt inside. That's the item that I'm going to bind them to. Bind them inside.
Okay.
Oh, also, Sam remembers that his grandmother did show him a couple of talismans, for carving into like wood and stuff. He's not entirely sure how much it might help with the hunt, but he knows some things about trapping.
More about just
So,
the qualities of inlaying or carving things. Not necessarily about a specific thing like the hunt or anything.
Cool.
So, how do you want to go about doing this?
So, I'm hoping to get some sigils and stuff like that carved into the silver box.
Okay.
To create that binding piece. And then when it's closer to the full moon, but not all the way, we can place Kyle, hopefully very sedated, onto a very similar setup that we had with Walter with salt and sigils and try and provoke the werewolf side out of him and detach it from him and get it trapped in the box.
Are you going to do it in the elevator?
No. I mean, we could probably do it outside of town.
that
Okay.
would be a bad idea.
If we have a
yeah.
good spot. Because if this doesn't work, we're going to have a very angry werewolf.
All right. So you spend a little time. Can I get Sam and Walter to give me... Actually, let me look at your character sheets.
Yeah, you're
Probably something related to occult or
Hey, occultism.
occultism works.
Do you also want
I
me to
have
roll occultism?
religion and occultism. I don't
Yep,
know
that
which-
works. And Satori, I want you to... I think the best way for this to work is, since you're kind of directing it, would be you would give your benefits to them, so it would ease their roles.
Okay.
And I am trained in religion, so I'm gonna use that. That's a 16.
Okay. So a 19 with the easing.
19!
22.
Hey!
Nice.
Hell yeah.
The qualities of
So
what you're seeing from these two is even better than you thought you were going to get. And with a little bit of direction
Go
and
team.
guidance, you were able to really kind of help get them there. And their hands were they were detailed in their execution, and you can see that there was quality put into it.
We're using some of the gunsmithing stuff that we had to
Yeah.
help carve.
Alder, what were you doing while they were
Plan
doing all
this
these
out.
things?
Alder really wants to help, but I don't think can think of a way to help with this particular problem. So I think I am going to be trying to. I've spent lots of time trying to look into what I am and why I can do the things that I can do. But now I have more information from talking to my mom, and from talking to my dad. Still a question mark. I think less of a question mark now. Alder still wants that to be a question mark, but I think knows that it isn't. Um, so I think Alder will like aim to start with looking into the question of like mom's family and like mom's family line and family history, lineage. Who are we? You know, where are we from? Why might it be that I'm able to do this? Um, and if that doesn't yield any results, like Alder is much more eager to learn about their mom's side of the family than anything to do with James.
Okay.
But if the mom side of the family doesn't turn anything up, I would like to know what James is at the very least. And know maybe a little bit more about him. But I will roll research, and I am specialized in that.
Okay.
That's what I'm assuming that's what I'm rolling.
Yes.
20. I'm not mad at my dice anymore.
They're out of jail. So you find out from your mom. I mean, your mom probably has already given you a little bit of information, but she has a history that leads back to Russia and Romania. And her history is sort of after or before the like 1920s, a little bit vague in where they came from and how they got here, but there are connections, you know, potentially Romani, Russian, and from, you know, Eastern Europe. There was apparently some person or a couple of people that were ostracized and chased from the villages that they lived in when in the 1800s and 1700s. And in those days, things like hearing things and seeing things led to bad outcomes. And there are mentions of things that, like, one of them became a nun and believed that she was seeing, if not Jesus, divine things, and claimed it to be that. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, or maybe it was something just beyond their, you know, their ability to understand. But it does seem like in their path, in your history, many or most of the women have had disquieting histories related to things that would be called occultism or witchcraft or different forms of non-typical religious experiences, all strewn all through it.
Interesting. Yeah, I think Alder has like a completely different like pad of paper that doesn't have any work notes on it that is now just kind of becoming dedicated to taking and kind of keeping this history and starting to make like a little family tree and kind of piece together, trying to just see how far back I can find where there's at least any, you know, obviously at some point there will stop being information.
Yeah.
I'm just going to try and trace that back as far as I can.
Okay. I mean, that's what you have at the moment. We'll get you more as more time is spent. It took some time just to
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you come back, they have carved into the boxes or inlaid into the boxes symbols and runes, some that you don't recognize, maybe a few that you do. But they seem to be pretty pleased with the efforts. Actually,
Are
Alder,
you
make
all
me...
ready?
Actually, Alder, for you to research some of that, you would have probably had to have gone into the deep archives. Would you have gone in there to see what you had from Hermes?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, I mean, I already did ask Hermes a little bit about, like, why can I do what I can do? So he already knows that's something that I'm looking into, so sure, yeah.
All right. And as you're leaving, you hear another voice in there. You know, Hermes helped you find whatever you needed. But then as you're leaving, you hear him talking to someone else.
I am going to try to listen into that conversation.
And he's saying, no, everything is fine. That everybody's, as far as I know, everyone there has signed their agreements. And the other person's like, I want to make sure that there are no... Can you make sure that all the contracts are properly signed? I have to make sure that everything is official and done correctly. You understand that, right? Yes, sir. Do you need copies or originals? Am I someone who needs copies? A copy means nothing. All right, let me gather their material. I'll get it for you. I'll be waiting. I don't really like having to come through here, so please, can you rush this? I don't like it. Just oogs me out being in this hole. Yes, of course.
This might be a terrible idea, but that's how I start a lot of sentences related to Alder. How close am I? I would like to be within tasting range, if that makes sense. And I would like, if I'm not to, if I was like in the process of leaving, to maybe roll stealth to try, which I'm not trained or skilled in or anything, to try and get close enough to see if the other. I already know there's a like there's feathers associated with Hermes.
Right.
So I know that. I want to see if there's anything else that might be associated with the other person.
Yeah. Okay. So make me an int roll.
Okay, so far this dice has been 50-50. Let's see. 11.
Okay. Okay, so you get the feathery taste a little bit. You know you're within range, but you also get this slimy kind of like, imagine licking the slime trail of a slug or a snail and it being even thicker than you imagined and having like a stickiness in your mouth. And as you wipe out, you see that it's sort of a gray black, and that's never happened either. And it is more the texture than the taste. But the taste is definitely bad also, but it's nowhere near as bad as the texture. And then you hear Hermes going you're a couple of archival aisles away, going past you, and walking somewhere.
Okay. Can I try and follow him and see where he's going with if he catches me the excuse that I like forgot to ask him a question. Like I'm gonna try and be sneaky about it, to try and see where he's going. But then, yeah, if he catches me, I'm gonna try and like play it off as like, oh, there was one more thing I needed from you. I don't know what
Yeah.
that thing is, but I'll make something up when I get there if I need to. And that is Alder's train of thought because yeah, I want to see where he's going to
All
get
right.
these contracts that might be ours.
And you bump into him, and he seems surprised, and he immediately sort of, not aggressively, but sort of pushes you back into the dark recesses of the archive, like shelves. I don't hear your footsteps any longer. Did something happen? No. I thought I had tripped over one of the boxes that was sticking out just a little further than it should have been, and I really don't like my archives to be unkempt in any way. All right, well, hurry up. I need to get out of here. And he points to the exit.
Okay, I'll leave at that point. Yeah.
And then he sees you out, and then he goes back in and then turns into a shadowy area that you just thought was part of the aisle, but apparently it's a walkable space, and he disappears into this dark area.
I will clock that for later.
Okay. And
And then I will go to
you
the
get back.
bathroom and wash my mouth out with water, and then I'll go
Okay.
find the others.
Okay.
Like, oh, that tastes so... It's never a good taste. It's always the worst. So yeah, I will... I know it's like, I know it's gone because I'm not there anymore, but I think like the psychosomatic
Right.
aftertaste of it, like I still taste it and I'm like, I gotta start carrying around like really strong gum.
Right.
And then I will go find the others.
You find them,
take
and that's
in
when you
their
see
work,
their
yeah.
right.
This is the setup. That's what we're gonna use for Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hopefully.
I mean, it looks good to me, but I don't think I'm exactly the judge.
Yeah, no, they're actually doing really good.
This is
Doing
what we've
You
very
got.
say so. Yeah.
We just need to get Kyle to a safe place and then see if this works.
I mean, have we been to any safe places in the last 3 months?
I don't think those exist.
I guess safe in relative terms of other people.
Fair point.
Remote place.
Yeah,
Far away. Yeah.
yeah, that'll work.
Can it not be a swamp?
Yeah, we can go to a swamp.
Okay, good, because the
A
last
little
swamp
higher
was not
ground.
great.
We'll find an abandoned warehouse or something. I don't know. That could actually work really well.
That's like going in Montana, going, let's just not be in the woods.
I know. Like, well, I see them. So
They're always right there.
where am I? Like, I go in the water? Like, be surrounded by woods? No, it's a good point. It's a good point.
All right, so you get there and you see the work is proceeding well. What are you doing then?
Not to. I'm gonna make a note. I don't want to add anything to our growing list.
You see Sienna walking past. The door is open. You see her walking past. She has a bunch of file folders in her hand, and she's walking towards the archives. You notice that, Alder.
Hey, yeah, hey, Sienna.
She stops and, yeah.
Where are you going?
I'm working.
What? Yeah. Yeah. What?
Make me a
what
perception
are
roll.
you? Yeah. 16.
When she turns to talk to you, you notice on the file folders, one of the folders has your name on it, and one has Satori's and all of that.
Of course. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was gonna, I'm like acting like I'm like clocking that and kind of making a deal out of the fact that I was about to say something else, but I noticed the boxes. Like, are those files all on like our team? I see you've got like my name on one of those, and then Sam, and then Walter.
Yeah, it's HR stuff. We have midterm reviews coming up soon.
Oh, do I know, like, is that correct? Is it like the time that they would do midterm? Or is that not?
You don't really...
Have I been there long enough?
You haven't been there long enough to know
yeah.
when they're coming.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I've not had a midterm review before. I'm
This is your first job, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
and I haven't been here long enough to like have a midterm review yet. What's involved in that? You can tell me later.
Well,
Sorry,
I'll be getting with Satori soon to talk about setting it up. She'll be doing your reviews.
Yeah, so you just have like our. I mean, what do you need?
And Satori, you hear
a midterm
Alder like
review?
really questioning Sienna about work stuff. Work stuff.
Yeah. Was I aware I'm supposed to do reviews soon?
No, I'll be getting you the paperwork soon enough. It's just,
Oh, okay.
I'm just doing prep
didn't
work.
know if I like missed an email or something.
Well, you never check your emails, so I assume that you miss all of the emails.
Well, I am pretty busy, so...
Yeah, I understand. That's why when it's important, I come and see you. Is everything okay, Alder?
I'm gonna try and give Satori like the briefest but also most panicked look that I can, because I don't know why, but I don't want those files to go where they're going.
Satori, can you make me a perception check?
And tell.
Yeah.
I don't think I can say that with words, but I'm gonna try and like give Satori a glance. It's just like, no, bad. Files bad.
I rolled an 11, which will make it a 14.
You catch on to something unusual in Alder's expression about this stuff. And you catch sort of a momentary glance with her eye at Sienna's hands.
Mm. Do I notice it has all of our names on it?
Yep, you notice it then.
Okay. I'm just gonna look at Sienna and I'm like, oh, are you taking those down to file?
I have to work with HR and all the kinds of stuff involved in setting up midterm reviews. I'll be getting the documents to you soon enough.
No, I was just curious if you were heading down there. I was going anyway.
I'm going to the archives, yes.
Take them with you. I could just take them for you if you wanted.
Wait.
No, I'll take them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hang on. There's a map of the building, because she said she's going to the archives. Where's the floor plans? Are the archives and HR anywhere near each other? I have this document still pulled up, Scott. I have not closed this document.
They're the opposite sides of the office from each other.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, she said she was taking them to HR.
You're in the middle between HR on one side and the archives on the other.
Yeah. Well, she said she was taking them to HR, but then she just said she needed to take them to the archives, so that doesn't line up. So I'm be like, oh wait, the archives, but HR's that way. Don't
you have other things to be working with? I mean, it looks like you guys are carving metal, and I've never seen any of you actually be interested in paperwork or documentation of anything until this very moment.
All the time.
Yeah, we do research. So I'm assuming like Sam can like hear this if
yeah, he steps in.
I'm sorry, don't.
But I'm not.
We're all interested in paperwork.
That's part of our job here.
Very
We're
suddenly.
researchers, yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
so
I'm just
these are your employee files. Do you want a copy of them? Did you never had a copy of them? If I remember correctly, you were given a copy when you were hired.
Oh, I definitely didn't read that. Yeah.
No,
I
you
got a
got. You
copy.
remember getting like a folder of the stuff
Yeah.
you'd done.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's in my apartment somewhere. I
Same.
don't know.
I
I haven't
mean,
seen it since I got it.
are do you not trust me with your files? I mean, I'm your
Oh,
supervisor.
I trust you.
Just everything else is suspect.
Here?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a weird building, you got to admit.
There's a floor you have to get a magic button to get to.
Yeah, I mean there are some oddities. I'm
Well,
not
and
one
you,
of those oddities.
sorry, Sienna, but you did just say that you told Alder you were going to HR and now you're going to
I'm working on
the
stuff for
archives.
HR. I need to go to the archives. I don't know why it would
Okay.
be a problem.
No, not a problem. I'm just curious.
Yeah, just with like how weird the building is and everything. Like again, I trust you as a person, but I want to make sure that our information isn't anywhere where it shouldn't be, given, we've
Yeah.
had a lot of people like break into this office, like a lot of people break into this office.
And try to
And we have
kill
a lot of
us.
It's true.
people, yeah, try to kill us specifically. And a lot of people come, like, all of our home addresses have basically been compromised, so, like,
The vents.
just, yeah, like,
Yeah.
seeing our information, like, I just want to know where you're taking it, just to, like, make sure it's in the right place. Again, like, I trust you, but I don't know if I trust, like, this place right now.
Okay, well, I'm the one carrying the documents, so
Yeah, but I mean, like
I
maybe if
can't.
we could just like get a copy of it, just like again, I don't think any of us really read the documents when we got them the first time. So maybe I mean, since you have them, if you could make a copy of them and then
Sure, I'll make a copy
put
of
them
them.
away. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Sorry,
Okay.
yeah, sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, just
Alright.
again,
And
there's been like a lot, so yeah, yeah.
she steps out and she turns back the other way towards HR and IT and all that stuff.
I will turn to look at the other three. I do
I look at
not think
Alder,
we we're in the room. Let's go inside. Let's go into our office, and not talk here. I'll
Alder's
kind of like
acting
usher
really weird.
everyone. Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, why? What is going on?
I do not think
Okay.
we can let her have the original versions of those documents.
Who?
I just, anyone, because I was in the like archives, like the secret deep archives where Hermes is,
Yeah.
and I overheard him talking to someone who Hermes did not see, like, okay, up from the beginning. I overheard him talking to someone about contracts and paperwork and needing to make sure everything was, like, correct. And then someone who it sounded like didn't really like to be here, they had like a slug, viscous kind of taste. I didn't, from like my thing, I didn't like lick them.
Somebody else is in
Yeah,
there?
but
Okay.
yeah, who doesn't like to be there, who said they didn't like to be there and didn't want to be there and didn't want to stay there. But it seemed like Hermes's boss, maybe, like Hermes called the person sir, so someone in authority above Hermes. And then I started walking back, like, closer to see what was going on, and Hermes, like, kind of pushed me out of the way and told me to be quiet, and looked a little bit, like, panicked / afraid that I was there. Like, I shouldn't have been there and I shouldn't have been overhearing that. And then as soon as I leave the archives, well, Hermes went off into, like, a secret dark place that apparently is, like, more space in the archives to go get something. But then as soon as I come out, Sienna has our files, and the person in the archives specifically requested the originals, not copies.
Okay.
of files that might be ours, and I don't think whoever that was should have.
Whoa,
I
okay.
don't know what they're gonna do, but it's like how you don't like give the Fae your real name. Like
Okay.
it feels like that.
I peek. Okay. I peek out. Is Sienna still in her office?
Well, you don't see into her office. You'd have to go around the corner and get into her office.
Okay, do we
She was
see-
making
You
copies. I'm assuming she like.
Yeah, it
turned
looked
back
like
to
she was
make
going
copies.
back to go make copies, yeah.
Okay. Alder,
Okay, so we have
do we
to.
have office nightmare now?
an office nightman? Nightmare?
Nightmare.
Maybe. Okay, Alder, we have to act fast because if she's heading down there like now, I'm gonna run down there and I'm gonna try and beat her down there. And so hopefully I can intercept it. You get those copies and you meet me down there and I run.
Okay.
What are you doing, Walter and Sam?
I'm debating if I should go for backup because I don't think have I tapped Sienna with my staff before? Does that
No.
happen?
You just fucking whack Sienna in the hallway.
Whack her the fucking- No, I can't.
Sienna, hold still.
No, maybe I'll follow Alder and just stay outside the door just in case. It like if Sienna's just walking out the door and Alder can't intercept, I could just snatch stuff and bolt. That's my.
We're about to look so suspicious.
Are we really doing that?
I don't know.
If you think that it's that urgent, I can try to distract her with I don't know, maybe I can try to give her a statement.
She takes
You can distract her.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
if
mean,
we can distract her, yeah.
Yeah, we
she-
can try and steal if we steal the originals and replace them with the copies. That's why I asked her to make copies, because maybe she won't notice. If we like do a swap, because I think
Yeah.
as long as we have the originals, we're fine. Again, I don't know what the danger is or what the problem is. I just feel like the originals should not go to the voice in that room.
Okay, so as I said, I can try to give her a statement about my situation, and that I'm hoping that would make her confused a little bit, maybe, and then you can do whatever you want. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. If you think that'll distract her, yeah. We can try that.
I think I can do a dramatic entry there.
You probably can. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, are we doing this right now?
Yeah, I mean we don't
Yeah,
really have
yeah.
time.
I don't think we have time. I think we need to
I
go
ran
like,
down
right
there
now.
already.
Yeah,
I ran.
So, Satori, you're
Yes,
going.
George is gone.
Okay, so Satori, I just want to make sure I understand where everyone's going. Satori, you're going to the Deep Archive
Yes.
entrance. Like,
I'm just gonna go into the entrance and I'm just gonna hide near the entrance and wait.
okay. Alder, you're going to the copier where you think Sienna is making copies. Where are you going, Sam? You're going into the
Honestly,
hallway?
after what Walter said, I think if Walter and Alder are going to the copy room, maybe Satori will need backup if there's some weird dude in the archive. So you know what? I'm gonna run after her so that she doesn't get like murked or something.
Everyone else in this office just has to see our team every now and then just like break out into a full sprint in the middle of the day, in the middle of the office, and be like, "Oh, there they go again."
Oh, there they go.
So, Walter, you're going with Alder.
Yeah,
Okay.
like a little bit in front of them. I'll just try to get into, I don't know, a dramatic state, like, hey, Sienna, I will need to talk to you.
And you see she's at a copier and she has files and she's making copies.
I'm gonna try to not
You
be
need to talk
seen
to
while
me-
Walter approaches, just to be clear. Like I don't want her to see me because I think she associates me with something weird going on.
So you
So I'm
need to
gonna
talk
let it
to
just
me
be Walter.
now? Like, I'm in the middle of, like, all this paperwork.
Yeah, you you're working with some sort of boring stuff, but I believe that it's kind of important because it's something the institute does. Like, there's been lots of weird stuff going on, not just outside, also inside of us too. Like, uh,
Yeah, we've
my
been trying to
my
take care of those
situation.
things.
Yeah,
Oh,
since I'm a little bit stable right now because I don't know when I will lose this control. I would like to give you a statement about my situation.
you want to get? Uh,
It
you want to
has a
give
history.
me a statement? Um, I don't
Yeah, like
really do that so much anymore. It's
yeah, but you're our supervisor, so it should be in privacy somehow, right?
well, yeah. All statements are done in private. And she looks over to somebody, and she goes, "Can you finish making these copies? I need just make 2 sets of each set." And you see the person who came out is an HR assistant, and she now you need to do one at this moment.
Would you like to talk to Lilith herself when she's trying to burn down buildings?
Oh shit! All right, let's go in the conference room into the archive, not the archive, the statement office. And Alder, you see from down the hall, Walter walks out, walks past where you're going towards the archives, and then goes into the statement room. And you hear the copier still running.
Darn it. Okay, I was hoping that the copies would be left unattended, but I'm still gonna go over there. Um, I think my plan at this point is to try to hope. I think I want to hope Walter stalls long enough because I think my plan is just gonna be to like wait for the copies to be made and then say, "Oh, we're supposed to have the originals," and try and like lie my way in. Do I see? Can I get close enough to see into the copy room, or is it like
Yeah,
there's no
it's
windows
actually
in
an
here?
open
Okay, okay.
area.
Oh, open. Okay, okay. And I see one of the like HR staff working.
Yeah, just sort of running them into the copier, putting like sets of documents in, pulling staples out and stuff like that, so they'll run through the copier cleanly. And hey, Alder, how you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. I mean, I know you don't know me, but I'm a big fan of all your hard work. It's cool.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so. Yeah, I feel like we
Yeah,
have
you
to
do the
leave.
cool stuff.
Yeah, I feel like we have to leave a bit of an impression on the other people in the office. Um,
Um,
I, do people like tell stories? Oh yeah.
Party?
Um, interesting story actually on that. We were
And she
reading
puts a set
some.
in and it
Yeah,
starts running copies of it.
yeah. We were reading some cursed books the other day, and I had a little bit of like
Oh
a
my God!
mishap with the books, so yeah. Um,
It,
we have a lot of excitement over in our department. Uh,
oh
and
God,
I
that sounds
think
terrible.
it can be, but it is also very interesting, very dramatic. Um,
And I like your dress. I don't think I've ever seen you come in a dress.
yeah, I haven't before. It's I was running out of like
Huh.
alligator themed outfits, and it has alligators on it, so I
Very
thought I'd do
cool.
something different. Um, do you need help with that? It looks like you have a lot of paperwork going on.
I don't even know what I'm doing. I was just handed these, and Sienna asked me to finish making the copies, and so I was in the middle of
Well,
other
I can help.
stuff.
Yeah, what were you working on?
I'm starting to get ready for midterm reviews, so I need to get all the documentation ready for that.
What
And
is a midterm review, anyways?
oh, you haven't had one yet. Oh,
I
it's
have
when your
not had
manager
one
goes
yet.
over goals and helps you set your goals for the rest of the year and gives you progress on how you're doing. it's a way for us to document how well you're doing, or if you're having problems, we'll also give you like a program to correct any issues if you have any. I'm assuming you don't have any, because honestly, the archive teams, they're always like above and beyond, So it's honestly just office management kind of stuff.
I feel bad that you're always having to do all of the paperwork where we're having all of the excitement and all of the fun. So we actually really don't have anything really going on right now. Nothing else I'm really supposed to be doing. So I can totally do some of the copying if you have stuff to get back to.
Make me
I know how to work a copier.
Do you have anything related to persuasion or?
I do. I am trained in persuasion, I believe.
Okay. Give me a persuasion check.
Maggie would be so proud.
Yeah, I'm trained in persuasion. That's a newer one. A newer addition.
Okay.
To my skill set is being trained in persuasion. That is only an 11, though.
Okay.
But I think as for the trained, it makes it...
Yeah, 12, 14.
14?
Yep.
14? That's how numbers work.
And she looks around and says, I mean, that'd be a godsend. I have so much stuff to do. I don't have time to sit here and make all these copies. She asked me to make 2 sets of copies. You know how to work the copier. And she goes over it real quick, just kind of the buttons you press, and just make sure there are no staples or paper clips on any of it, and then just run it through the feed. And just keep the originals in this file. You can put the copies over in this one. Oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, if I can deal with the archives and statements and all that stuff, I can make a few copies. It's fine.
And she is ecstatic at the help and goes back to her cubicle, like where she can see what you're doing, but she's not really watching. She's doing her work.
Worked out better than I intended. I do also think the in-character Alder doesn't really know how to work the copy machine. There's a lot of buttons, I don't know, but is going to do their very best to quickly make copies and then start swapping the originals with the copies.
All right. Sam, Satori, you get in there, you step into like the dark so you can kind of hide right in the entrance, and you don't feel the wall there. It's like the shadow is not really wall there. You just like
naturally, just lean against the wall. So I feel like I just roll a little bit.
Yeah, you just sort of fall back into a dark area, and as soon as you do, there's a little bit of light behind you.
I turn around and
on the wall, there's a wall phone with a little list next to it.
Ooh, I'm gonna read the list.
Offices. Chicago, London, like just a bunch of different offices. And extension numbers.
Can I look at the history? The call history?
No, it's like a
rotary?
A printed list next to the phone.
But it doesn't have like a little display like those. Like,
no, it's a physical
phones.
copy, not a digital thing.
Oh, so I can't go back and pull up the last one.
No.
Okay. I take note mentally.
And you hear somebody like quietly step in to the darkness behind you.
I duck down.
And you see Sam come into the entrance and look around, but doesn't see anyone.
I'm gonna reach my hand out from the darkness.
Sam, you see a hand come out of the shadow.
I'm gonna swing my staff at it.
Bonk.
Sam.
You get hit in the hand.
Ow! Hey, it's me.
Satori? Oh, fuck.
And you both hear someone kind of walking, maybe towards where you are.
Like, Tuck, come here.
And you see Hermes come towards the entrance and stop at the entrance and kind of look out. And then turn and then head back in. And then you hear a voice from out there that is not Hermes. Do you have the documents ready? No, they're on their way. Sienna said that she's getting them right now. We'll have them shortly. Good. I got to go. I have a lot of things to do. You understand that, right? Yeah, I do. You know, I would be very happy to just cut those fucking wings off again if I don't get the shit I need when I need them. And Hermes says nothing. Walter, you go into the statement room with Sienna.
Yeah, I mean, my plan is actually talking about everything from the very beginning.
So you're gonna make the slowest, longest statement you can think of.
Yeah.
Is it true? And does it? I mean, she actually sets the tape up, says a statement of Walter North, of his own statement of his own volition regarding his past, and she says it questioningly, and kind of looks at you.
Would you like me to tell everything?
And she turns on the recorder.
No, it's out of game question actually.
Oh. No, you don't have to do a whole statement, but you could do a little statement and say what
Okay, so
you think would be interesting.
Okay, so it's like everything started when I was in orphanage. I realized that I could have some interaction with things, and I had some sort of feel like it was almost illusion or some sort of delusion, but it's actually real. I felt that I always had something with fire, and in time, I learned that the things I felt, things I thought I saw, they're not just my imagination. They're actually things that are happening or maybe happened, and that was probably one of the reasons one of the reasons of why I'm here, because I wanted to go after, and I was unaware of everything. When I was a little kid, my parents uh, made an offering to an entity, and that offering, the sacrifice, was me.
Her eyes bug out. Big.
I didn't I didn't know, and I still don't know what was the real purpose, but um, I have solid proofs of my parents being some sort of members of a cult related to this fire and the entity called Lilith. And the very first case that the Institute approached me was about a fire cult too.
And is it the same fire cult? Do you believe that it's the same fire cult that you have been investigating recently? Is the same one as when your parents were when your parents did this?
Probably yes, the same cult as the one who set a fire and left piles of skulls in the crime scene, and the one that was our first mission with the group. Both of them are related somehow, and I didn't know that they're so bound to each other until I realized that. I started to feel something inside of me and started to lose control.
Do you think that you're a threat to the Institute or a danger to the Institute itself or our mission?
Currently, no, but it's an unstable situation.
Okay, continue.
When I started to realize that there's someone inside of my body and mind, uh, I didn't understand it in the beginning, but then it started to shape my actions. And the connection with fire was something unrealistic, almost like a comic book character. I, I couldn't think that this level of interaction with fire could be possible. And that caused lots of troubles during the whole mission.
And she listens as you continue. Back where you are, Alder, you finished making the copies, the 2 copies. Are you making only 2 copies? You're making more, less? How are you handling this?
I'm making exactly how many copies I'm supposed to be making.
Okay. 2 sets of copies. And there's folders with nothing written on them. And she comes over and goes, put the copies in here, 1 set in each. Just write the names of them on there. And, just put them in there, okay?
Yeah, perfect. No worries. And actually, I think you're making these copies for my team. So I'll just grab the 1 set of copies that's for us. I'll leave the originals and the other copies here, and then you can just, tell Sienna which is which, but you can tell her that I got the copies that are for our team.
Oh, I need to get them over to her. So, where? Actually, I think she just wants me to hold them because she's. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with them.
I know that Walter, who's also on my team, was going to be giving her giving her a statement. Yeah, Walter has a lot of Walter's really interesting. Really interesting
He's
person.
dark and mysterious, like really, like the cool way.
Yeah.
Like the horror movie people that come out, that come out of it on top, or at least save the day in the end. That's super cool. Super cool. Brooding, even.
Yeah, that's definitely Walter. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you can just keep the copies here for.
Yeah,
when
I'll
she's
just
done.
hold them when you're done. Let me know when you're finished. She goes back to her cubicle.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to swap out the. Well, while she's not looking, I'm going to swap out the originals with one of the sets of copies.
Okay.
And I think in that very, if you just act like you know what you're doing, people will believe you.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take the copies that are for my team, so take the originals, just kind of wave over at her and be like, okay, so yeah, the originals are in that box. The other set that's for Sienna are right there. They're done. I'm going to just distribute these other copies to our team. We realized that not a lot of us actually fully read through our documentation when we were hired, and with midterm reviews coming up, we just wanted to make sure we all had an accessible copy of our paperwork. Felt like
that's why she said she was making them.
Like the responsible thing to do. So we're good. We got it. Okay. You can give her these to file when she comes back.
She slides them together and makes sure that she keeps them sorted so she knows which is the originals and the copies. All right. Well, thank you. You really saved me a bunch of time today.
Yeah, happy to help.
Anytime you need help with HR stuff or anything, just let me know.
I will. Absolutely.
We all love what you guys are doing on that side. And that's the first time we ever heard it that side. Like there's a separation between what you guys do and what they do.
Yeah. Alder will, acts very flattered and, smiles and goes, I'm gonna go back to the office. There's a level of panic that Alder is about this, inexplicably. Just knowing these originals cannot be here, and Sienna cannot find out that I have them. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, given that Eileen is back in the room. But I'm going to go back to the office and I'm going to put the glasses on. And I am going to use the glasses, the fact that no one can see me and I can travel unseen, to exit the building with the files. I don't know where I'm going. I just know that I don't want to be here, but I also don't want to be seen leaving the office with these files right now.
Okay.
And this is the only way I know that I can travel unseen.
Okay.
And I'm also it's going to be hard to miss me now. Alder is realizing this is a terrible idea because I'm super conspicuous. But if I put on the glasses, no one can see me.
Satori, you heard the person on, and Hermes goes, Mr. Bouchard, I'm sure that Santa will get the paperwork here soon. There's, she's very responsible. You know that. She's one of the most responsible in any of the offices. It's like, yeah, I know, but I've got places to go and things to do. I really can't spend my time, wasting away in here. I got to make sure that everyone in the group is safe before they have to deal with what's coming. That cult in the fucking islands, if they're not covered, who knows what'll happen to them. So I want to make sure that we don't have problems on our hands, blood on our hands, and all that. We want to make sure that they're good to go. You got it? Yes, I'm sure it'll be here soon. Walter, you go through all of your statement and you see Alder through the little sliver of glass at the door go back into the office with some paperwork in hand.
Actually, I want to continue because it's something like a confession time for Walter right now, and probably he won't. He cannot stop himself.
Okay. So continue.
Okay, so he continues like, I try to understand what was really going on. I try to understand Lilith's purpose. I mean, why she using my body, or what is she trying to do? And then I learned that there will be some sort of grand ritual in Canary Islands. And she wanted to go there. And actually, when I learned that, I died once by some sort of attacker called Teddy, who also killed our friend Maggie.
Yeah. So Teddy attacked you also, but you survived in the end.
Teddy was after all of the members and found me at home and shot me, I think, more than 4 times, not really sure. And I died and came back.
Wow.
Probably because
You're
of
very
Lilith.
lucky.
Lucky, huh?
What do you mean because of Lilith?
She needs to use the vessel as a physical form.
Oh.
I'm not really sure, but maybe we are bound to each other, and because of that, she wanted to keep the body alive. Like, if she could travel through bodies, she could probably do that more than gazillion times already. Maybe because of that ritual that my parents did back in
Especially when you're a child, your soul is innocent and
pure energy,
more impressionable. Which, I mean, I'm sorry that your parents did that. That is just horrible. But go on. I don't want to. I don't want to keep interrupting your statement.
Okay, so it was a dangerous and unstable situation for everyone, for me and my friends slash co-workers here, and then we kind of found a way to handle this situation, and that's how Eileen possessed my body too. I'm specifically looking at her face, by the way. Like, I want to see her reaction to
She
this.
seems surprised. She. Okay, I don't know if I've ever heard of anyone ever being possessed by two things at once. Are you still possessed by two?
Not, not right now, because
Actually,
they
is
managed
possessed even the
to.
right word? I don't even know if that's the right word, if possessed is the right word. Shared, co opted. I don't know. You would have to tell us what that means. But are you able to function like as you?
I don't know. I still have Lilith inside my body and mind, so I don't know if I would be dead if Lilith leaves my body. But really, I don't really care. If there's anything that could stop Lilith, I'm always willing to do that, and that's why we try to use Eileen for it, because Eileen is actually another entity, and we thought that maybe Eileen could devour this entity somehow, but it didn't work like that. They always had a great conflict inside the body. And when you have this kind of conflict inside your body and mind as well, that affects your actions. And hopefully, my actions didn't kill no one yet, but there were some times that it was pretty close to do that. So it's actually some sort of confession rather than a statement.
Yeah. And when you get to where you feel comfortable ending it,
Currently, I can say that uh, we managed to banish Eileen from where she came. I mean, to where she came, but I still have this entity, Lilith, inside me. And currently I'm stable because my coworker, Satori, uh, found some sort of medicine that could suppress the entity inside my mind. So I'm telling all of this with my own will and um, my permission, but I don't know when it will lose its effect, and when it loses its effect, I don't know what will happen.
we should discuss that with Satori and figure out a plan of action for that. I would think. This has been the statement of Walter North, blah, blah, blah. And she goes through the thing, goes, statement ends. She turns off the tape. You really do need to spend a little time. You and Satori need to work out a plan of action for this. I don't know what the answer is. I do think that, to be honest, you are frightening me a little bit if Lilith is potentially in our office all the time and capable of hearing through your ears and seeing through your eyes. Can you get with Satori and please the two of you put together a plan of action for what to do if Lilith rises again or something, just so that I know what we should be doing. We should be planning on how do we protect the office? How do we make sure that everyone is as safe as they can be? I know nothing is ever safe in this office. Everyone who signs our agreements understands the risk. I do though have to get back. I've got to get some paperwork done for HR and the archives. Thank you for a very enlightening statement.
Okay, I will talk to Satori, but I have to say that we also have to deal with lots of other things, but that's not
Yeah.
for me to say. So
That's
we
why
will
you're all here.
we will I mean we're actively working on this risky situation. We try whatever we can, and I have to say that I take every responsibility for the outcome. But I have to warn you about something. Like, if you decide on, I don't know, eliminate me, Lilith will protect the body. That happened once, and that will happen again, because she really wants to go to Canary Islands. Actually, a specific place called, I want to say Da Palma, but La Palma.
La
Yeah,
Palma.
La Palma.
Oh, there are nice beaches there. I've heard that it's beautiful there. That's interesting. I wonder why the Canary Islands?
What about volcanoes?
Oh, yeah, there are
Fire.
volcanoes there. Oh, that
Fire,
would
a
make
great,
sense.
great grand ritual to reborn as, I don't know, maybe flesh and bone, maybe something else. I don't know what's her desired true form.
Yeah, get with Satori and give me a plan. And she steps to the door. I really do have to go, though. Thank you. And she walks out and heads back towards HR. And you had seen Alder go into the office, although you don't see him anymore. Back in the office, Satori, you and Sam are in there, and you hear the other voice. I can't be waiting around all day. Can you just go make another call, make sure that we have this stuff on the way? I got to get the hell out of here.
We're right next to the phone, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
I'm
do
gonna
we?
send a quick text to Alder, and I just say, "Is she coming?" Question mark, and then I'm gonna be like, "Let's step out," and like, just away from the phone,
Crawl
crouching,
quietly.
crawl. Oh, yeah.
And you get that text, Alder, but you're not in the building at the moment.
Oh, you're
You're
muted.
on mute.
I think I text back. I don't know. I left the building, but I have the files.
Okay.
She has the files. We should just get out.
Yeah. We're gonna leave now.
We'll
A
just
few-
start crawling out.
Okay. A few moments later, Walter, you see Sienna walking back towards the archives with some folders in hand, again like she'd had before.
I'll just make a look, and then continue. I mean, I believe that whatever I told her kind of surprised her multiple times, and I don't want to see how
For
it
sure.
will affect my presence in the institute.
Okay. And both of you step out of the deep archive, and you hear footsteps coming down the hall. And you can tell by the pace and sound of them, it is not Alder or Walter.
Is there anywhere we can like hide?
Yeah, you can step
Like
back
in a
into archives.
shelf,
There's plenty of shelves that just kind of line up back there.
All right, we're just gonna
Yeah.
hide
And you
here or
see
behind a shelf.
Yeah, and you sit behind the shelf, and you see Sienna walk by with some files in hand and walks into the archive, the deep archive. And when she goes in, like, she just disappears into the shadow. That's how it works. It's like you can't see into it from outside.
And I doubt we can hear anything, right?
No. And you
All right,
see her step out a moment later.
Okay.
As soon as she leaves, I'm gonna try and go back in to eavesdrop.
I don't know. But I'm not gonna let Satori go alone, so I'll follow.
Just crawl.
Okay. Alright, we're back in.
Okay. You get back in, and you hear Hermes walking away from you and down into the archive area. Told you it's all right here. The documents, and he hands them over. You hear like a silence and the sound of paper being shuffled. They're all signed, fine. Hermes, I have a question for you. You're an expert at documents and documentation and all of that. I mean, that's why you work at the Deep Archive. Look at this one and tell me what you think. And a few minutes later, you hear this one. This one's a copy. This isn't the original. I don't know why Sienna would have brought a copy instead of original. I specified an original. All right, you can wait here. And you hear Satori and Sam footsteps heading towards the exit of the Deep Archive where you're at.
Can we duck into the shadows?
Yeah. And you see this man walking who stops at the entrance for a moment. He's got a suit on with a tie, kind of not particularly modern, but not like too old either. He's got a mustache, and kind of a tough demeanor. And he stops for a moment, and then he steps out of the Deep Archive.
Have you seen anybody like that before? I whispered to Sam. No. Hermes.
Do that.
Well, you don't whispering. He wouldn't hear you from how far you are.
I'm gonna start crawling.
No, we need to go, Satori. We need to go.
I'm
Get out of
curious.
here.
Why do they want our
Curiosity
goddamn
killed the cat.
files?
We need to go. We have so much shit to do anyway.
Cats have 9 lives. I'm
I
gonna
don't
take my
think so.
goddamn chances.
Please don't drag me into this.
Hermes.
And you see
assuming
Hermes
he's
walk
gonna be
into the
gone
door,
a
into the
while.
darkness, and then he's visible in the door area.
Hermes.
Oh, what are you doing here?
Why does that guy want our files? Why
What
is he
it?
so mean to you? You are a sweet baby angel.
I'm not an angel. That would be a cherub.
Okay, you know what I mean. I didn't mean it literally.
I may seem nice. I'm no angel, and I'm not even particularly nice. I just happen to like you. I think you all are interesting and fun.
Thank you.
But you're all in danger being in here. Elias is not someone to cross.
Elias Bouchard?
Yeah.
Who is that?
He's part of the Institute just like us.
Well, apart like how?
Well, he's what's the word you use? He's my boss, or my boss's boss, or something like that. I don't exactly know, but
What
like
is he?
he handles most of the legal for the firm, for the institute. Like he's a lawyer and
Legal? What does
yeah.
legal want with our paperwork?
Did you not read your
No.
Look, I just needed a job.
contracts?
Why
I was
would
not
we?
paying attention.
It's a legal document and it's binding.
What?
Is he saying
What
if
does
we
it bind us
violated?
to?
He wants to make sure that you are safe with that you're covered by the protections of the agreement, because the agreement protects you also. It's not just
From what?
Didn't seem to protect Maggie.
What's in the fine print?
it's where they contract you for life and then some,
What?
What?
and where they bind you and they allow you access to privileged information, and they allow you tools you'll need to handle, dealing with entities and or their avatars. I mean, I don't think any of us can handle an entity directly, but avatars and them trying to, like this fire cult is trying to do a ceremony to try and, I mean, I don't want to live in hellfire across the world forever. Do you? That can't happen, right? That. How long were you here before Maggie died? Did she not go over any of this?
Did Maggie knew about this?
Well,
Listen,
yeah.
I'd like to die actually at some point in my life.
Same here.
Be careful what you wish for.
I mean, not now.
Yeah. We'd all like you
Like
to stay
when
alive.
I'm 80.
But that ritual, that ceremony, it's happening over there now. They're doing it.
But that's impossible.
But Lilith
Walter's
is here.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on or why. He's concerned about it, and if he's concerned about it, everybody should be concerned about it. Oh
Fuck.
shit.
Fuck. God damn it.
There's
God damn it,
more.
Alder. Oh
We
no.
need to call. We need to make some calls.
Where are you going,
I'm so
Alder?
sorry.
Where did you go, Alder?
I mean, away from the build. I think
Okay.
probably realistically at this point, just like
The diner.
Your car.
yeah, like I think I get in my car and I maybe like drive to the diner across the street that we all went to.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna. I want to start reading because I genuinely didn't read the fine print of this contract, and it sounds like nobody else did either. So I'm gonna go to mine first and start reading and digesting the fine print of mine.
You don't
And-
see any fine print. You see, but there's one unusual feature to the thing. In between every line of copy, there's a thin line, like a rule, between each line of text.
Okay, I gotta figure out how to read that, don't I? I'm going to call Walter.
Walter, you get a call. It's Alder.
Hello?
Hey, thank you for the distraction. Worked perfectly. I have our contracts and I'm trying to read them. The problem is that the fine print is not visible. On the contracts, like, I think it's here in between. I read between the lines. I think they mean that literally on our contracts, but I don't know how to do it. I am in the parking lot of the diner across the street. Do you know any magic or I don't know, to like make unseen things be seen. You're the occult expert. Have you heard of anything like this?
First, when you do anything in secrecy, you don't tell your location on phone. The second thing, do you have any candles?
Not in my car, no. I mean,
Can
I'm
you
just across
find-
the street. You can meet me here, and then we can move to a different location because you're right about the location
And
thing.
Walter,
okay,
you're talking to her, and you feel a hand come onto your hand and sort of pull the phone from your hand.
Uh,
Excuse me, Walter. Give me one moment. And you see this man that you've not seen.
who the fuck are you?
I'll be done in just one moment. I just have to talk to Alder. Is that okay?
No? Who the fuck are you?
Well, Sienna works for me, and you know,
What?
which means you work for me.
What?
I'm Elias Bouchard, and I handle the legal and other things for the Institute. And he lifts the phone to his ear and he says, Alder, this is Elias. You have taken some documentation that is not legal for you to take out. Those originals are owned by us, and you put yourself into great danger. Can you please bring them in? And if you wish to read the fine print, I will show you how to read the fine print. Would you be okay with that?
Who are you?
And your phone starts ringing for a FaceTime call.
I am not answering that.
You're like, I'm wearing
I-
pink hair right now. I can't know. I came to work like this.
Probably Walter would say, like, Alder, go! Go!
If Walter is telling me to go, I'm gonna hang up the phone and, oh, where am I going? I think at
Alder,
first I'm just.
there's nowhere for you to go. This is your job. We need to take care of this fire cult, and you're putting yourself and your team in danger.
Do I hear that even if I hang up the phone?
Yep.
Does it not hang
The
up?
phone just continues talking.
Oh, cool.
I'm gonna try and text.
I
Yeah,
want
send
to
a
do
text
some-
like, Elder, you gotta go back.
Walter.
to
I
do
just sent a
something.
text.
Okay, go on.
I want to punch this guy because he
no.
specifically acts like we're entities. We're trying to, I don't know, we're trying to defeat or something. So, boss or not, I don't care. I'll throw a punch.
Okay. Make me a punch. A punch.
Okay, so
Partake in some light bashing. Oh no.
I don't have anything for it, so I'll just roll.
So just a might roll.
Is there with me and like Satori are running towards the
I have 11.
Okay. And he steps back just a little bit, and you miss, and you see him raise his hand up and say, Walter, you need to stop. Let's just sort this stuff out. What were you saying, Sam? You and Satori are what? You want to run there?
Yeah, we're heading back.
Yeah,
up
we're
to the
heading back.
office.
Like,
Okay.
can we like?
And you get to the office as you step in, you see Walter swing on this man in a suit.
whoa,
No, 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 no,
It's okay.
no,
It's
no,
all
no,
right. It's okay. It's
no,
okay.
no, no.
I just
no.
gently grab
What?
Walter's arms and be like, "Hi,
What?
Mr. Bouchard, Satori, field leader. I guess that's my
Ms.
title
Falk,
He's
now."
one
yes.
of them.
Yeah.
He's one of them.
Sam,
He's one of who?
I'm one of us.
All the mess.
He's a boss of a boss of a boss of a boss.
like he
Walter.
runs all the institutes apparently.
Sir, I am
Prove me
terribly
that-
sorry.
Prove me that you're a human.
I don't think he. I just whisper. I don't think he is, but I don't think that matters right now.
That I'm human.
I'm gonna go
Okay.
get Alder, sir, and I'm
Well,
gonna
she's
make
left the
sure.
building. He's left the building, and I think Walter told him to flee. So that would
I
be
try to
great.
call.
That would be
Can
great.
we, yeah, we
Yeah.
can call him.
Alder! Sorry about this. Pick up the phone. You know, it's
Yeah,
usually a little. Alder?
if Satori's calling, I'll answer.
Okay.
Satori, where are you?
Hey, buddy. Old pal. I think we might have done a little fucky wucky. You see, those documents are to also protect us. So we kinda need
What?
them. Yeah.
I mean, I I want to try and read the fine print if I can before, like, I'll bring them back if I can prove that they're to protect us, but how do you know that they protect us? Who told you that?
Hermes?
Hermes.
I mean, I personally trust Hermes at least a little bit, and he said that a certain fire cult has already started.
But Walter's still in the office. They can't do the ritual without Lilith,
I
right?
don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But Mr. Elias Bouchard is from legal and is in charge of the contracts. And he's making sure that we are all square.
Why?
You can use a magnifying lens if you need to look at the fine print. It's just small. It's small print. There's a lot in there.
And, oh, that might be dangerous.
I
Um,
whisper to Sam.
What?
What? Dangerous what?
Oh no, I was talking out of character. I was trying to think,
Oh, okay.
ask to do
That
something, but
might
I
be
was like, no, that might be genuinely dangerous. I will not do that.
is there
Yes.
anywhere
Oh, you
I
know.
I think at this point Alder had just kind of like Walter said to leave and like to run, and then my phone kept talking even when I turned it off. So I think that Alder just like got out of the car and like started leaving, like just kind of, going away. I'm now going to stop and look around and see if I can find somewhere where I could get a magnifying glass. Like, I will come back,
Okay.
but I want to read it first, where I know that it's not being manipulated, where I know that I'm not in that building. Um,
And he says, and Satori, you hear, he looks at you for a moment. He goes, tell Alder that there are magnifying lenses inside the art supply there. She can just walk across the street and they'll be inside there. She can get one that she needs.
Get that older?
yep, yep, there is
And
definitely
and
an
you
art
look,
supply
there's an
across.
art supply.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, 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 yep. Cool, 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 cool. I'll be right back. And I am hanging up the phone.
By the way, Walter probably will try to poke Mr. Bouchard because he's like, "What are you? You have wings? Are you one of the aspects?"
Aspects. No, I'm an employee just like you. And he puts his hand out so you can poke him. I understand your concerns. And he pulls out a little pocket knife, like a little like a kid's one. He pops open. Do you want to cut me? You want to see blood? I don't know what else I can do,
I
but
don't
that would
Can
at
I
least.
tap him with my staff?
Necessary.
Do you have your staff on you?
Yeah, I always have it on me.
Okay.
Yeah, after the few times
I'm
we
gonna
lost it
tap
and
him.
dropped it.
And
What
he
happens?
is pushed through the wall and disappears way far away. And then it is one of those moments where it's like really far.
Oh boy.
Whoa.
Okay. I don't know what to do with this information.
And Sienna,
genuinely.
and you notice Sienna is standing at the door and her jaw drops. Like, oh, what did you do? Why would you do that?
I don't know. So much is happening. I just needed to confirm everything's going wrong.
He's a monster. He's another case.
He's not a monster. He's with us.
No, he's definitely not
Denied.
human.
He's
That wouldn't have happened if he was.
he is a part of the eye.
Possibly. If he's her as his boss.
I've whispered to well, I mean, he did threaten to cut Hermes's wings again. So I don't know how old he is,
That's a good point.
human or not.
I want to try something. Well, first off, is Elias like walking back, or is he just like so far
Yeah,
out
he's
of
he's
the?
coming back, but you don't know. It'll take a minute for him to get back.
Okay. I want to confirm what he's saying. First, I will apologize and then try to confirm what he's saying by using my ability. I'll see if I can actually use it. This is such a bad idea, but I need to confirm something in my gut.
And he gets back. Walter, you're standing there, and he looks around at you, at all of you, and he goes, "You know, all of us, you included, are also dangerous people. It's
We're
not
aware.
only them."
Hey,
Is
it's
Alder?
not my fault. Okay? It's not my fault.
I know. This time, Mr. Murphy is the one who decided to strike at me.
That one, that was not technically a strike, and two, I did not know that was gonna happen.
Sienna's jaw is still dropped. We're so sorry, Mr. Bouchard. It won't happen again. And she comes over and she like shuffles you like a few feet away. Can you just not hit anybody with anything, please?
I won't. I'm gonna try rolling now to ask Elias a question.
I don't even think I can get fired, but if I could get fired, I would.
So, okay, I'm gonna
My
roll,
team
please.
is attempting. My team has stolen and hit and
That's
beaten
a
this man.
15.
Okay.
Does that do anything?
What do you say to him?
I want to ask him why do you really want our contracts?
And he looks at you for a moment, and he goes, "You got that because of me."
What?
What you're attempting to do to me, you got that because of me.
Are you the eye?
There's
Are
no
you
the I. I don't know where you get that from, but
are you
you
the
know.
Magnus? Are you the archive?
I work for the Magnus Institute the same as
Are
you. I'm
you
just
the
in a
guy?
different position.
Are you older than Lilith? In any
Then
possible
Lilith the demon? Of course not. Do I look anywhere near that kind of age?
I
It looks like he's maybe 40, 50.
Sometimes it's kind of hard to say when you are kind of inhuman being or having inhuman abilities.
Well, Alder has gotten the magnifying lens, so it won't be long before hopefully we can all be back here together with the documents. So what did you want to know from me, Mr. Murphy?
Why do you really want our contracts? Because there's no way this ritual can start without Walter.
That's not true. There's no way the ritual can start without Lilith.
But she's in there.
That's correct.
So you see why I'm confused.
Sometimes Lilith has control, from what I understand.
And they're just waiting?
We're just waiting for her to take control and hop on a flight.
We
That's what
canceled
it
that
seems
flight,
like,
bitch.
but
Yeah, like
you know,
a while
That-
ago.
we're
Yeah.
also in a dangerous and precarious position where we're dealing with a very as Walter can tell you, a very powerful, very old thing that is harmful to all of us, dangerous to all of us. But if the ritual happens there and Lilith finds a way, I mean, there are things in this world that can move through space in the blink of an eye.
Damn it.
So how do we know that she won't find another way? So I want to make sure that in your agreements that you are adequately given the most capability that we can give you to make sure that you're ready for what's potentially there. Although we don't know what is there yet, although I've been watching when I can.
So if you knew all of this, why are you telling us now?
I'm hoping that you will be willing to prevent it so that we don't all live in a biblical style lake of fire across the world. Who wants that?
None of us, which is what we've been working on for the last God knows how many weeks.
I have a plan, at least a semblance of one.
Yeah.
And of the other field teams, even though you are one of the newest, you are the most connected to it. So it makes sense. Alder, you found a magnifying lens in the art supply. You're able to buy it for, $20 or whatever for a good one. And you lower it over the line, and when you do it, that line, you realize, becomes super tiny type that just runs in between all the lines. And it looks like the contract, as you read it, is a contract for life and beyond. It ensures employment and remuneration payment. It also ensures that only specific personnel are able to release you from your contract, and that by signing the contract, you agree to be bound to the Institute to protect its assets, protect its knowledge and secrets, to gather information as much as possible, to secure knowledge for the greater good of humanity, and increase and improve the watchfulness of the Institute. And it's super, there's a lot of detail in these little lines, and it's crazy how much there is in this contract that look like a very minimal contract, like barely a contract. And it makes it where it seems like, from what you're reading, like there's no capacity for quitting.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, because you said it specified that only certain people could release from the contract. Does it specify who those people are?
There's a bunch of names. One of them is Elias Bouchard.
Okay, I'm assuming I don't recognize the others.
You don't.
By a
Sienna is not
bunch.
one of them.
Okay, yeah, I figured.
By
yeah.
a bunch,
By,
like 10.
Like 10? Okay. So more than 5, less than 15. Okay, so 10 names. I will write the names down on a scratch piece of paper. I want to at least give a glance to everyone's contract. I'm gonna be gone a couple minutes. Sorry, guys. I I want to at least give a glance to everyone's contracts to make sure that they're all the same. That
They
like
are.
no one has no one has like a secret hidden clause in any of it.
Nope.
Do I see anything? Because the reason why, so apparently the reason why our contracts are needed is to ensure our safety. Is there anything in the contract about keeping us safe?
Yeah, it says that as a member of the Magnus Institute, that they will provide all of the I don't think they would call it military, but all of the protection and capabilities afforded the institute in protecting its teams in the field and in the office, and ensuring survivability as best they can. Although there's no promise of the survivability.
Yeah, of course not. Is there anything else suspicious about this other than the obvious? In particular, anything else about the thing that's standing out, I think most obviously, is the for life and after part of the contract. For life and beyond. Is that made mention of more than once, or just
No.
in that one little phrase? Okay, that's weird. In all
Nothing
of
is
this
mentioned more than
detail,
once.
of course not. In all of this detail, where there's a lot of mention that you can't quit and it's hard to get out of, does it say anywhere what happens if the contracts are destroyed?
No.
Okay. That feels like it's probably a really bad idea. But I'm also gonna mentally file that away. I think I probably send a text to the group chat as I'm finishing reading, just saying there's a lot of really detailed information in here. There's no way any of us could have known to have read this, but it seems like we are contracted with them for life. There is no getting out of this contract. Unless someone very specific releases us from it.
Cool. Well, he's on it.
But you're all well
their way
paid,
back.
aren't you? Don't you feel you're paid, decently? We give you a good office environment. You have a great team. You're excited to come to work. You get to work on the most interesting and exciting kinds of projects of anybody in the world who gets to
Got
work
turned
on
into
cool
a
things like
worm by a
this.
boo hag. I don't think there's enough you could pay me to deal with that.
I mean, I do really love my job, despite all of the other things. But I would like to stop at some point.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're trying to prevent terrible things happening to the world. Why would you want to give up on the world?
Can't we retire? That's not a thing?
Like a torch pass.
Yeah.
I know I'm
We can't be
still
the
pretty
only
young,
ones.
but you train somebody, you pass the
Besides,
torch,
you
or
replace
die.
field archivists all the time.
Archivists
they
are not
die?
easy to replace. Well, of course, everybody can die. Maggie died. It can happen. We hope it doesn't happen. We hope that you're armed with the tools and information you need to prevent it.
Well, we still don't have security here. And
Yeah.
what about the coffee?
That's a good point.
What's wrong with the coffee?
Oh, it fucking sucks.
Terrible.
It always tastes bad.
Hmm.
If it's made in this building.
And he looks over and said, "Can you look into the coffee? We can't have people not have decent coffee." Yeah, of course.
And what about weird liminal spaces inside this building?
Yeah, what's that about?
Is Eileen our protection measure?
I hope not.
She's, I mean, she's in there right now, so.
Yeah, Eileen is a definite danger and a threat. We kind of like being in a position to keep an eye on Eileen.
Doing a great job about it.
We are the ones in charge. I look at Walter. Like, we're the ones that are tasked with making sure she doesn't get out of line. Apparently. I mean, I didn't know that until the party, but...
I think at this point, I'm going to actually call Satori
Okay.
on the phone since I'm not there.
Okay.
Go for Satori.
Hey Satori. So I read the fine print of our contracts. You're talking to this Elias guy right now? Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, you're on speaker.
Oh, great. Hello again.
Hello, Alder. Mr. Hughes.
Can I ask, why do you need the original copies of these so badly?
I tried asking that.
Because when you make a photocopy, it doesn't capture the fine print properly.
Okay, so, see, because we were going to be offered a photocopy to, like, reread, which then wouldn't have had the fine print on it, which is the part that we needed to read. Because the fact is, there's no way we would have known to have read this when you gave it to us.
Well, when you were hired, I'm sure Sienna or whomever you were working with asked you at some point, would you like to read the entire contract? And Sienna, did any of them say they wish to read the entire contract? And no, actually none of them wanted to read even a little bit of the contract. They were just, they signed. Ah. So it was your choice. You chose to not read it. We would have offered you up a magnifying glass if you had asked to read it all. A lens powerful enough to read it properly, of course.
You definitely are a lawyer.
I'll say, Jesus. Can I do a quick perception check on this guy?
Sure. What are you
I
looking
am trained
for?
in it. Any sense that he might be, since he's a lawyer, he might be doing the legalese thing of saying something, but it having like an underlying meaning. So he could be saying, yes, I'm checking these to make sure you're protected.
Yeah.
But there could be something
I'm-
else. I'm trying to look if there's that something else underneath the words he's saying.
Sure. I'll give
Yeah.
you a roll.
I'm specialized in perception. Can I roll that as well? Because that's definitely the reason why I'm calling. Is
Yeah,
I
you would
don't.
be
And
Yeah, that
Oh.
won't make it. But you could roll it, Alder, but you'll be hindered because you're just over the phone.
Okay,
yeah.
does that just cancel out with the fact that I'm specialized?
Yes.
Okay, so just a flat roll.
Yep.
That's fine. We'll leave it to the dice. 18.
Ooh.
So it seems like almost everything he says has potentially multiple meanings, and protection can mean a lot of things. Giving you the tools can mean a lot of things. So yeah, your spidey sense goes off during all of this, although it was probably tingling halfway on the way in.
Oh. Yeah, no, it's been I've had a bad feeling about this guy from the very beginning. Hang on. I am looking at my abilities. Okay,
Oh wait, that's right. We do have those.
yeah.
Abilities.
We don't roll often enough for me to remember.
I'm debating. I don't think I have enough information out of him to use. Can I use missing detail on
I think it
the...
applies.
Can
You
I
can
use
try.
it? Wait, how about, do you want to have Sam maybe use it on him because Sam is listening to
Oh,
him?
I'm right there.
I could use it on the contracts because it says spoken or written information.
Yep.
Can I use missing detail
Sure.
on the contract? Okay.
And
Yep.
I can use it on him.
It's the advantage of both of us having the same ability. Let's go.
Hey.
Roll. Go ahead.
Okay.
And it's spending
Oh,
points
it's
as
spending
well, yeah.
intelligence.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I
Spending
gotta,
intellect.
you gotta
I think
spend
it's
a
just
crap ton.
spending points, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just spending
I'll do
points
too.
actually
Okay.
for that one. I will.
So with the contract is meant to make sure that it seems like the Institute believes the information it collects is so rare and valuable that it needs to be protected from people ever disclosing anything that they're not supposed to be. And it's way worse than just an NDA. It is a deep binding agreement that if agreements about your soul and stuff were legal and binding, this would be that. But of course, that can't be the case because those aren't even legal. And what kind of court do you go to? Like, how could you even? So obviously, this can't be even a fully binding agreement or something. But there's a lot of stuff in there saying that, they're attempting to protect you. They're trying to protect you by giving you the ability to gather as much information as possible while making you as protected from information being gathered about you as possible without limiting your ability to do the gathering part. They do seem to know that there are risks in the entities and their what they call avatars that potentially can be dangerous to individuals or even whole offices. And they do what they can to mitigate as long as it doesn't get in the way of gathering information. And it looks like when you read the contract, like this is not meant to be a short-term thing, that this is multi-generational legalese, trying to make sure this stuff stays locked in and tight here. One thing you find very odd is they can train you with or without your knowledge in tools and techniques for gathering information or getting people to divulge secrets, that kind of stuff.
Great. Yeah, love that. Yeah. Fantastic.
I mean, well, why wouldn't you want that? You know. And then Sam, when you're hearing him talk, he seems to actually be genuinely interested in all of you being protected and safe, but also interested in making sure that all of you are functioning as a team and a unit, because he seems to believe you're more effective that way, and that individually maybe you're in more danger or more, there's more risk to you. Which makes sense.
All right. So I will back off for now.
Satori is
Awkwardly sitting on the phone.
Ms. Falk, is Mr. Hughes on his way in yet?
Are you coming, Alder?
Don't really know if I have a lot of a choice here. Kind of sounds like I don't.
Yeah.
Right.
He doesn't say anything.
I mean, just as a thought experiment, what would happen if I didn't give these back to you? Because you're making it sound like I don't have a choice. I don't think you can't, based on this contract, can we even be fired? It sounds like we work here for life and after. Important clarification.
After, yeah.
Saving the world is a lifetime commitment.
So, if I don't bring these back, what happens? If you don't have our contracts, you don't have proof that we work there. Are you able to enforce them without having them? Just as a thought experiment. I'll start walking back now. And I will start walking back, but
Okay.
slowly. Enough that he can tell that I'm actually following through, because he seems to know my location.
The contracts are enforceable, whether we have the paperwork in front of us or not, of course. And the contracts are there to make you safe and us safe, us as an organization.
Yeah, the Institute, of course, yeah.
So we're all in this together.
So if they're enforceable without you having them, why do you need them so badly?
Yeah.
I need to read something because I want to see whether there's a clause in there that I would like to ensure is there.
Wait, that actually doesn't make sense. You can tell where Alder is, but you don't remember what's in the contracts? You can't see that?
You on your way in, Alder?
I could show you the contract right now, actually, from here. I read it.
Alder, wait.
What are you hoping to be in here?
Well, first off,
I just read it.
The contract is the property of the Institute. If you would like a copy that you can read, we can make a duplicate. Although you'll have to re-sign on the new one for your own personal use, if that's what you want. And you can keep that in your desk in the office. It is not allowed to be taken off property.
Why not?
Alder.
In the wrong hands, it can be a very dangerous thing to you.
Oh.
I mean, imagine if Eileen had a copy of our contract. How would we feel about that?
Fair point, but why are we in her building?
To watch. That's what we're supposed to do.
What could anyone else do with the contract? Like, are you saying if someone edits these, that change is then, like, permanent? What's someone going to do with them?
They can learn the inner workings of the Institute, and they could then start creating monitors monitoring us, or creating risky situations for us.
So you're just trying to protect yourselves and what you
Us
have.
being collectively all of us, not just the Institute, the individuals too.
What you still never answered my question. What is the clause in the contract that you're looking for?
I want to see if there was...
I just read it.
You did. And I was, at the moment, distracted and talking with your accomplices.
Accomplice?
Yes, in removing legal documents from the premises. Knowingly. And I want to ensure that there is information that we can make available to you about potential risks in the case you are working on concerning the avatar of Lilith. And
Walter.
Sometimes we do extend additional information by creating an addendum to the contract, or making other information available. Yes. Walter. Walter is
So
at risk, but also is a risk that we would like to mitigate dangers internally from.
This is not adding up.
You want to add a clause to the contract to tell us more information about Walter. That's what you're saying.
And potentially give you additional tools.
This is
Why
the
didn't you
promotion.
just do that? Sure, you get more information with the promotion. Sure. Don't
This
know.
is the promotion.
It is not. It's not a promotion. It's an additional set of tools you may need in this particular fight.
So kind of like a promotion. Kind of.
Since getting these back seems to be very important to you to protect all of our interests, as you have so
Yes.
clearly stated. Well, I'll be honest, I still don't know if I trust you. You talk like a lawyer. And you're
I'm
not
a lawyer.
being very... Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
not great.
I know, yeah, that's the point. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to get my hands on these documents again. So the fact that I have them, I think puts me in a semi-unique position where I have something that you want. Feel like, yeah, that's not a position I'm going to be in a lot. Why should I trust you? You're not talking very clearly. Remind me a bit of my dad, actually.
Ugh.
In the way that you talk and in the way that you answer questions without... You say a lot without really saying anything, just like a lot of the language in this contract. And
Also, my
I
staff
am...
pushed you across this building.
Wait, Sam, your staff
Oh,
pushed
right,
him...
you missed. Oh, yeah, you missed
Yeah,
that. I
I'm not
tapped him and it
there.
kind of
Yeah.
flung him. Yeah, that happened. Maybe I
So-
should have made that clear from jump. My bad.
Okay, now I trust you less, because if that happened, that means you were a danger.
Didn't that
To
happen to
Sam.
me though?
Yeah, but like, you didn't get pushed that far. Even Walter
Okay.
didn't get pushed that far. And Walter had Lilith.
Okay, so what Sam is telling me is that you're more of a danger than Lilith. So why am I trusting you exactly?
Because without our assistance, Lilith will do its thing. And then whether you trust me or not will make no difference because it will all end in fire soon enough.
And how about this? Because I don't want this to come to some sort of stalemate or standstill where we keep going back and forth like this. You can tell, I'm sure, that I'm on my way back to the building. Again, out of character, I'm still walking very, 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 very slowly, but I am moving in that direction.
Yep.
I will bring these back and hand them to you, no problem, on 2 conditions. Condition number 1
And he smiles.
is that... Condition number 1 is that we don't get in any trouble for taking these out of the building, seeing as we didn't know how important these documents were. Hearing that some random guy wants your contract that you haven't even read is cause for concern. So, and considering that you just called everyone on my team my accomplices, I don't want to get anyone in trouble. So let's just pretend that this never happened, in a way. I come back, I hand them to
Agreed.
you. No big deal. Perfect, that was easy. Point number 2. You need us, it sounds like, to solve the Lilith problem. You're willing to give us some tools and some information to do that. honestly, you're probably right. We probably could use it. But, like you said, we're paid well. Some of us like our jobs more than others. Some of us maybe don't. So, I bring the contracts to you now. You can add on the amendum clause. But after everything is done with Lilith, after she is defeated and gone, your name is in the contract as someone who could terminate it. Someone who could make it go away. After this is over, everyone on our team gets a chance to reevaluate the contract now that we know all of the information, and choose, with informed consent, whether we want to keep working at the Institute or not. We'll deal with Lilith, we'll take care of that problem, but then I think that we should all have the ability to make that choice for ourselves based on admittedly, sure, we should have read the contracts when we signed up. That's our bad. I don't think any of us knew quite what we were getting into with this job, but now that we know, I want us to all have another chance to make that decision. Because I don't trust you now, and I probably won't trust you anymore when this is over. That's just speaking for me. So I know I have some things to think about. I would like my team to... Realistically, I think everyone at the Institute should have the chance to reevaluate based on it. Informed consent is very important, just as a general principle. Informed and enthusiastic. But I don't think you're going to go for that. So for now, I'm just going to stick to just my team. So
Mr. Murphy,
my second condition.
Yourself, Mr. Hughes, Ms. Falk, Mr. North, and Ms. Devane would like to have a reevaluation of the contract after the Lilith issue is dealt with. To our satisfaction.
Yes, of course. A reevaluation with the possibility that we can leave, if we choose to. That we can quit. I want to be clear about that, like, termination of the contract doesn't mean termination of us, because I'm a little bit worried that that's how you're going to interpret that word, that termination means you're just going to kill us. Not that, like retirement, like quit and leave and go get a new job, if we want to. Maybe we'll all choose to stay by the time this is done, and we'll all look back on this and laugh as a silly misunderstanding.
Well, first, we're not generally in the business of assassination, so it's a very dark place you went to right off the bat. But I'll agree to those terms.
Okay.
You'll have a time to reevaluate after the Lilith issue is dealt with.
And like immediately after too. Like not after as in like 20 years after. Immediately after the Lilith issue is dealt with.
Within a reasonable time.
A week.
What's your definition of reasonable?
Well,
no, I'm setting it a week.
If any of you are injured, you could be in the hospital for a week. That's no longer fair for you. Why don't we say within a month of your being healthy and of sound mind in a position to look at the contract legally within the office to make the choice, so that I don't have to worry about moving documents of this sensitivity outside the office.
That's fine.
Could we reword that mentally sound part just a wee bit?
What are you thinking, Sam?
Because I don't think any of us are mentally sound from this job. So I don't know if that would just keep us in here anyway.
Yeah, we could come up with a, as mentally sound as normal. I don't know if that works. As mentally sound as we're gonna get.
Yeah. It has not deteriorated significantly. And by significantly, I mean, not able to speak full sentences.
At the point where we are able to comprehend and make decisions for ourselves based on full information. Yeah.
Agreed.
Like that, yeah. Okay, go.
I'll agree to that.
Okay.
All right. Do we shake on it or something?
Yeah, everybody feel good about that? I will ask into the
Sounds good to me.
speakerphone.
We'll shake on it when Alder arrives.
Okay, perfect. I will start walking a little bit faster.
Okay. Is everyone okay with that? Just to make sure that the rest of you are okay with this.
Yep.
Or
Mr. North?
All right.
You can always, at that point, you can choose to not leave also and continue doing the good work of the Institute.
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. And then, Alder, you eventually get in and arrive. And you see the man standing there.
Elias, I presume.
Yes.
Why do you taste like a slug? In character, I don't laugh. But I do ask that question.
I'm not sure what you mean or how you tasted me.
Don't you know all about us? You don't know about what I can do?
I heard you were a synesthete, but I don't know
Yes.
to what extent. A lot of people, though, synesthesia can come in the forms of sound or light, images or colors or taste or smell
Or
or whatever
taste.
sense or touch even.
Yeah, I think for me it's mostly taste and smell. And when I'm around people, especially people who are not necessarily people, I can get a taste, and you taste like slime, like slimy. Maybe because you're a lawyer. I think that might be it.
Well, I'm sorry that you had to or are going through that at the moment, and you're definitely starting to get that like viscosity build up in your mouth that's like
Yeah.
"Ugh."
Yeah. Yeah, it tastes very bad, and it's like the texture of like slug slime, but I'm just like Hermes has like a feathers, but that makes sense, right? Because feathers, wings, feet, he's got feathers, so that, tracks. I don't see anything about you that would like visually indicate slime.
Well,
So
like
I
you
was just
said,
curious if you knew. Yeah,
lawyer, I guess. And he puts his hand out to shake.
feels like a bad idea, but yeah, I will shake his hand, and I will hand him over the documents.
And he walks over to you, Satori, and he puts his hand out to shake.
I shake his hand.
Thank you. He walks over to you, Sam, and he puts his hand out.
Grr.
He shakes
I'll
it.
shake his hand at this point. I don't know how to get words.
He goes over to Nova. She reluctantly shakes. Goes to Walter, and he puts his hand out to shake your hand.
Walter stops for a second and then shakes.
Well, thank you. It's been an interesting and entertaining afternoon. Walter, I'll speak to you a little later. I'm working on an addendum I'd like to add specifically for you and because of your current plight. Perhaps in the morning we could have a conversation. Sienna, can I speak to you in your office, please? And she's like, yeah, of course. Good afternoon, everybody. It's nice meeting all of you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
And
I
he
turn
walks out.
around.
I'll flip the off as he leaves because I'm just so. I don't care if he can see it or not. It just makes me uncomfortable. That felt like gaslighting me.
I mean, lawyers do that.
What?
Yeah. I
I have no idea if we just made the right choice or a horrible choice.
some
Everything from the moment I heard him talk felt like it was either going to save us or fuck us over.
I don't know. I don't even know at this point. I'm gonna go check on Kyle.
yeah, good.
Yeah,
How many more
Kyle.
hours do we have?
Oh, I'm sorry, Satori. I didn't.
It's like
That
2, 3 in the afternoon, so you have a couple of
Okay.
hours before it starts to get to. It'll get dark around. It'll start to get dark around 8:30.
I'm sorry that took up so much of our day. I heard his voice in the archives and I panicked.
No, I get it.
No, that's fair. He's
get it.
And
creepy.
he's super untrustworthy, right? Like he sounds
He
super
feels like a snake.
untrustworthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about him, but he was really mean to Hermes, and I just...
Yeah.
How could you be mean to Hermes?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like something's not right. Obviously something's not right. That's a massive
He was like-
understatement.
Yeah.
Don't make me cut off your wings again. That's what he said
I mean,
to Hermes.
Remember, Sam, we were talking about the fact that there had to be, like, Hermes is technically kind of trapped here, so there had to be something he was afraid of, something above him. I think we just found it.
And I get why he's afraid, because holy crap.
Yeah, found it and made a deal with him, which is one of my brighter ideas, I'm sure. That'll prove to be just great.
Hey,
Yeah.
you tried at first.
It's just a deal with Elias Bouchard, not the devil or anything. It's just dude.
Yeah. Just a random human
That's just
man.
some guy.
Yeah, just some guy.
Yeah, we should get Kyle obviously as
Yeah.
priority. I'm gonna, I guess, put this on the. I don't know. I mean, I have the entities on our list already. Contracts ? I'm gonna put it on the list, but it's not a priority. So yeah, we should go back to making sure that Kyle is safe and cleansed of his werewolfness tonight, however you want to do
Yes.
that, yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Who's going to check on Kyle? Just you, Satori, or other people going?
I don't know. But I'll go. Alone.
Probably Walter will accompany because Walter wants to see how he is, and also if there's anything he has to do before the plan works, he can give a hand.
And you get to the room, and when you open the door, you hear throwing up in the bathroom. The door's closed.
Kyle?
The bathroom door's closed.
Is it locked?
No.
Kyle?
Hold on.
Does it smell like alcohol in there?
There's alcohol by the window, and on the table there's some liquor that is empty.
Yeah.
And the door opens up, and he wiped off. I'm sorry you heard that. Oh, hey Walter.
We're just checking up on you.
I'm just starting to get nauseous. It happens every time. I try and drink as much as I can, but it.
We brought some tranquilizers. We can give you the first one if you want.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's. I don't want to hurt anybody. Do whatever you need to do. I don't really love needles, so please, can you do it from behind me or something? Is it in the butt or is it in the arm or what?
I can just do it.
Or
in
is it
the
just a
arm.
pill?
Don't be a weenie. Close your eyes.
All right. He closes his eyes.
I just give him a quick shot
Okay.
with one of them. We might have a plan.
Oh, should I know it or should I not know it?
I mean, I don't think it'll matter if you know it, but we're gonna go to
Okay.
a safe place tonight.
Okay,
and
great.
Hopefully we can remove your curse.
That can be done?
You can sure try. Walter and I have been working really hard.
Okay. All right. Oh shit! I'm already dizzy from that. What the hell?
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Lay
And
down.
he sits
Go,
down.
buddy.
Oh. Wow. That was quick. I mean, maybe
Yeah,
the booze is
Nova's
helping.
Nova's really good at this.
Oh, Nova made this stuff? Oh, she don't fuck around.
No, she does not.
I mean, she knows I'm not a rhinoceros, right?
Not yet.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. And mid-sentence, he just falls asleep.
All right. And I look to Walter. I think he'll be good for a few more hours.
At least you got some peace, I hope.
Yeah. Some of it. I'm gonna turn him on his side just in case he throws up.
Okay. Good idea. All right. You get. What are you doing in the office? The other two.
I think it's staring at the wall.
Nova is loading silver bullets into magazines.
Yeah. No, I do. I think Alder is just sitting and staring at the wall. This was too soon. The last time that Alder was like too shocked to speak. And you can tell, I think, especially like Sam, the tone of voice that Alder was using with Elias was the same kind of tone that they were using with their father, of this very like confident, collected, but also definitely putting on an act. And they're just like, that was too much. That was too much acting. It's all gone. Like the whole facade of like all the confidence is just not there. They're just sitting, looking panicked at a wall, like playing with a something from their desk, just like a.
Sam's gonna check in on Older really quickly. Just like, hey, you okay?
Are any of us?
No, but I mean, are you worse than usual or not?
Worse, yeah. I would say worse is a good description. Yeah.
Okay.
The last time I saw you, we were all yelling. There was a lot of yelling.
That is
A
right.
bunch of books got burned, and Walter was really mad at us. And then I talked to my mom about the fact that our family apparently has a history of being like witches and etc. other things. And then now
Oh.
Walter seems fine, but Eileen is back in the room, which I guess is probably a good thing, but I also have other feelings about. And then this, and then this, and then I don't know. I don't know if I did the right thing, if I just made things way worse for us, if I made things better for us. I
With Elias, there's
if I
no way
should
we
have not
could
done
tell.
anything.
There's
Yeah.
there's no way to tell because fine, he feels like a weird slimy creep, but he is also the weird slimy creep that our uh pays our wages and also technically has us under some subservience contract.
Yeah, which is weird. It's starting to feel more and more like obviously Lilith is a bad guy and the enemy, but what if the Institute is also a bad guy and the enemy, and we work for them? Like obviously we need to stop Lilith, but what if we need to stop the Institute too? Like what if we're just another form of villain and we've been working for them all along and helping them advance? Our contract gives us like all these tools to gather information from people for the eye, I guess. And we've just been doing that without knowing for a long time.
And Sam's mind goes back to that book he read that told him about the entities and how the eye specifically was like a little shaded than the rest. And he's like, "You're not wrong. I just don't know how we can do anything if we are tied to it."
Yeah. Yeah, that's part of the problem. Yeah.
And with that conversation, I think we'll break. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week. I think we'll have 4 or 5 again. Have a good night, everybody. See you on Sunday.